welcome to Show Us Don't Tell Us. I am Papa Bear. Today is Saturday. I don't know. Hell, it's midnight on Friday. 3/17, Saturday, March 17th, 2018. Wow. What a bunch of confusion here. Mike Bejas is not with us tonight. Mike Bejas had to go buy some parts, I guess, down in Florida, so he's not going to make it. And, of course, this is Skills Week off. But we do have JW. JW, how you doing, man?
I am good. Good morning, good evening, however you want to say it.
Whatever it is, right? Wherever you are, I guess.
That's right.
Well, so far it's just you and me, Bob. Quite
Sounds
the
good.
pair, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to mention over in the chat over there at lnmradionetwork.com, Mike for life, he's got a birthday. Happy birthday, Mike. Mike D for
Happy
life.
birthday.
Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to pop that out there. Gonna make him feel old. Gotta like it, right? Everybody
Of
gets
course.
those birthdays. We get older, and what... And I kind of like getting older because, my father told me years ago, life is a learning experience, right? You will learn. You have no choice. You're going to learn.
Oh, yeah.
What you choose to learn is up to you and how you apply it, And,
Of course.
Yeah. And the thing is, the more time you spend on this wonderful little globe we call Earth, all right? Of course, the more experience you have, the more you learn, and who knows, maybe you retain some of this stuff. But this whole gun thing going on, oh my. This is the first time in history where I've ever known Tide Pod eaters voting to give away their rights.
Yeah, I'm totally confused on that. I'm not going to lie. I think that tide is seeping into other people's brain cells or something.
Well, no, but they're running around and they're screaming, "Oh, this man he's like Hitler. He's the worst thing to ever happen to the White House," and yada yada. Well, if the man's like Hitler, why are you going to give up your guns?
Right.
Did history teach you nothing, or did no one teach you history? Maybe, huh?
I'm not really sure how that goes, but for me, that's like saying forks make you fat. Guns kill people, forks make you fat.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I don't have that problem. If that were the case, I'd need to stash a few more forks. But it's pretty weird. It's like, I'll be sitting here and I'll think, wow, wouldn't it be good to have, a certain thing, and then I'll just kind of taste it in my mouth imaginarily, I'm like,
Yeah.
And then that's it. The craving is gone. It's all over.
Oh, well, that's good for you. A lot of people can't do that, man.
Well, it's not really good for me because I run between 125 and 130 pounds. So I could, like I said, I could use a few forks.
I'll give you some of mine, no problem.
And if spoons do the same thing, they're going to attack me in my sleep,
Right. I don't understand why people cannot get it through their head that it's not the guns doing it. Why are we not controlling the people?
No, it's a narrative. When you get a paycheck, you'll say pretty much anything they want you to say.
That's true. All right, I'll give you that.
Hey, follow the money.
Yeah. It's just, it's sad in so many ways. All these people are like, oh, get rid of the guns. It's the guns doing this. Okay, well, when they do that, and the only people that have guns are the criminals, then they're really going to wonder what's going on.
Yeah, well, and I remember when I was a kid, we had shop class. You don't get that anymore, The shop class was cool. You could make that stuff. And actually, you don't even need a firearm or a gun. You've got people taking those airsoft paintball guns, right?
Airsoft is the small BBs. Paintball is the paintballs.
Okay, the small BBs. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
And they put a little Vaseline on the back of them when they load them in, and when they fire it, the air pressure is so great that it diesels. You know what diesel is, right?
Of course.
And it fires. And that thing hits about 10 times as hard as it would with just the air alone. But you can hear it fire. But
Right.
there's no firing pin. It's not a firearm per se, but it's just because of that Vaseline making it diesel. But Lewis and Clark went east to west and back again, and they took air guns with them. That was the
Right.
big thing because, well, they were quiet. They were stealthy.
Right.
And they
Well,
shot
yeah.
a massive ball, too.
Right. Well, that just goes to prove it. No matter what you do, if you get rid of one thing, somebody's going to be creative and find another way of doing it. That's why I'm saying you need to learn how to, how to take care of the people. It's, I just, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people that has this conversation easily,
Yeah.
It's,
You can buy ball bearings, steel ball bearings, with a slingshot.
yes.
And do more damage than you're going to do with an AR, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you get good with it.
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
to the Irish,
Oh, yeah. That's fun
I mean,
stuff.
I'm never going to understand kids, and I hate to say it because it makes me sound old or something, but now I understand when, I would listen to when I was young and I would listen to all the older people talk. You kids nowadays don't get it. Well, you're right. We don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
But
I
now I'm
was
looking.
I was gifted with the powers of observation. And I say
Right.
gifted. I'm sorry, I wasn't gifted. I was forced to have it. How about that?
Well,
But
you're lucky in a way there.
what I
I
did
know
learn
that. Quick.
is that if I was going to have children who were like my siblings, if I had to go through what my parents went through or were going through, somebody wasn't going to make it. So I decided it probably wasn't going to, probably wasn't a good idea or a wise idea for me to have children. Of course, I never married. That would make a good, a good reason too.
Well, you don't have to marry to have kids.
Yeah, that's true. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. But but no children. Not for lack of trying, but
Practice makes perfect.
well, none that I know of anyway.
Watch. 2 years from now, you're going to get a phone call. You're jinxing yourself.
Man. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of shy about my real name,
I don't blame you.
A blast from the past. Hey, remember me? No. No.
Right. Yeah.
You've got skills saying, hey, why don't you send a sample out to Ancestry.com and have them analyze your DNA? Well, you never know, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, if I had any offspring that hadn't contacted Ancestry.com, I'd never know anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
I mean, would you want to know?
Well, see, now, you get the horror stories, right? It's like,
Right,
oh,
that's what I'm talking
you sign
about.
away rights to this, that, and the other, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm kind of, I don't know, partial to the information I have, and I'd rather hang on to it, unless they're going to pay me for it. I don't want to. I don't want to give you a check with my information too.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. If you got my information, then hey, pay me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I put in a new ad blocker in my Firefox here. It's called uBlock. uBlock
Okay.
Origin. Yeah, and I think it's a little bit better than the other one I had.
Okay.
A little bit better than the other one I had. So, I mean, anything that blocks the ads, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Without giving you a whole bunch of messages and not showing you the pages.
Right. You can't jumble that stuff up. You got to be able to move.
Yeah, it's like, well, to view this page, you must turn ad blocker off, So,
Right.
I don't know. Securities. Oh, yeah, the Internet Bill of Rights. Have you heard about that?
No, fill me in.
Yeah, we're pushing for an Internet Bill of Rights. And
Wonderful.
the reason why is because there's installed software in your computer. There's a series of them. One of them is called, it's right in the hardware, one of them is called Keystone, believe it or not.
Okay.
Kind of like the pipeline, but it's not the pipeline, but it's built right into the computer, so they can get into the computer anytime they want.
Well, of course.
Any way they want, anytime they want. It doesn't matter. Okay? And Keystone is a key. Yeah, listen to me, right? Well, actually, there's a service of a bunch of people that the president-elect puts into office, and some
Okay.
are congressional, or some have to be approved by the Senate, and others don't. And there's like 1,800 of these people by the time they're all done. And,
Oh, that's all?
Oh, yeah. And that's, well, yeah. Well, the thing is, they've got all the Obama holdovers there. That's who they are.
Right.
And it's hard to get it. You can't get them all out of there. I mean, he hasn't even got a full cabinet yet. He just got rid of McMaster.
Right.
Oh, and McCabe got fired.
Oh, see, I didn't hear that one.
Less than 24 hours before they decided if he was going to take his retirement. You know, I have an idea what they did was they said, look, you want to play ball? Or what's the deal? And if he says, well, we're not going to play ball, I said, well, guess what? You've lost your job and your retirement.
Ah, man, that's kind of deep, don't you think, though?
So sad. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. And the thing is, I mean, if he has any kind of a ray of hope that the deep state that was in control is going to stay in control and he's going to wind up back on the top again, he's dreaming.
No, he's done. Done is done.
No, this is done. This is done. I mean, this is at the point where if anything changes now, it's gonna be enacted on the streets. I can tell you.
That's just so sad, though, man. I mean, you worked that long.
Right. But anyway, this Internet Bill of Rights, they built stuff right into the hardware that goes right in. I mean, it boots up before the operating system does, you know, so it's there.
Right.
And that's their way in. And Snowden was actually an asset for the CIA. And he was sent a message, and he was given 24 hours to respond. And he did. He knew. He knew. You respond, or we will contact you again. You've got 24 hours, and he responded. So he's gonna have to switch sides.
Well, yeah. Now that you see everything around you falling apart, you're not going to want to follow that suit.
And Assange is a very good. He seems to be a good asset now, and you probably don't know anything about how Trump feels about Assange and WikiLeaks and all that.
No.
No, probably not. But, well, no, I mean, I have an idea that Trump likes WikiLeaks, you know.
WikiLeaks.
Well, he seems like the type of person that would, because he's not afraid of it.
Yeah, he loves WikiLeaks. He really does. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming down, and it's interesting. I'm watching it all unfold. I've been doing these 1 hour news shows during the week, you know, 3 days a week. So I'm just kind of stuck on this all this news that's going down, you know.
Yeah.
Q, thanks for asking me, Mike. QAnon, the posts that are going out, boom, 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 right?
Right.
Well, somebody got clever, and they made some cue cards. They made 100 of them, and they were pretty good, except for one thing. When they mentioned Eric Snowden, they said ES, and ES is not Eric Snowden. ES is Eric Schmidt.
Okay.
With Google. Okay. Well, yeah, there was some stuff going on in North Korea. Oh, and something else about North Korea. You notice things have been quiet down there since November. and all of a sudden Kim Jong-un wants to meet with Mr. Trump.
Yes, I heard all about that.
Yeah. Oh, what happened there? What happened was the clowns are out. CIA is out. They've lost control. The next move is Iran. So the idea is to make peace with these people, get back on an equal trading ground, equal footing with them, and then start all over again without the deep state.
Okay.
This is why he separated and said America first. Okay. Well, the deep state doesn't want that. They want the NWO. They want one order. They want United Nations, the UN, like European Union. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the United States. Okay. Well, they wanted the United Nations to be all the same thing, but control all of it, and that's why everybody has a stake in the UN. But we need to get out. We need to get out.
I think that would be the better thing, for sure.
North Korea's CIA. There's a lot of opium.
Yeah.
Opium. What they're not getting from Afghanistan, they're getting from there. There's a lot of marijuana there too, but that's small time. That's
Right. That's old.
Yeah. That doesn't mean a whole lot,
But did they ever figure out where they're going to meet at?
What do you mean?
I know the president and Kim Jong-un.
Oh, I don't know.
To...
I don't know. As far as I know, this is going to happen in the future, but we're not sure exactly when. I haven't heard a date yet.
I mean,
but
I'd hate to be on that security detail.
Yeah, Mike knows that the CIA is responsible for the coke, or for the opium. They're for the coke too, and Romney did trafficking from Panama, and of course McCain was born in Panama, and the Clintons ran a coke house for the most part. I mean, they had women walking around with coke on trays, but they were giving away investment capital to businesses with no payback.
Oh, wonderful. Totally legal.
Yeah. Now, the only time that they get caught is when one of their team tries to get away with something. Like you had 8 tons of cocaine on a plane, right? And there was 2 airports that wouldn't let it land. It ran out of fuel. It crashed. Okay. Well, the reason why is because the pilot was smuggling in his own stuff. He had his own little side gig going, and that didn't work. Okay.
Nice.
Oh no, we can't have you cutting into our profits. You're going down.
Of course not.
And now you've got the Fast and Furious. Remember that one with Eric Holder?
Of course.
Those documents are coming out.
Oh.
Those are all being released. Okay. I mean, that guy, he's crazy, man. These people don't know enough to keep their mouths shut. But, and like the press, especially CNN, they're useful idiots. Okay? Yeah. Congressmen, stuff like that. All you have to do is send out one thing that they feel offends them, and all of a sudden they go haywire. They get defensive. It's crazy. They're nuts.
I know. I don't understand that. I mean, and then they wonder why all this bad stuff's happening. Oh, I'm going to open my mouth because you didn't do this or this or this. Oh, that's on you, and that's your fault.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to the real world, people.
Right. And that video that came out about Clinton, I don't know if it's come out yet, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it's all about.
Okay.
I can only speculate because they were all into spirit cooking. But like I said, I can only spirit cooking.
Yeah.
eating human body parts.
What?
Yeah. It's sick. I'm telling you. There's a lot of stuff that people just won't be able to accept because they just, you know what I mean?
Why in the hell?
They
Why
won't-
would they do something?
They can't fathom it. No, people don't do that. People don't do that. But yeah, people do that. They're sacrificing children. What they would do is they would take a child, they would scare it, and this child would be scared while they killed it and drained the blood. The reason why is because it has a compound called adrenochrome, and
Okay.
adrenochrome is what gives them youth. Well, what happened with Hillary was on the wrong end of it. Now she's got a disease from consuming that. It's not from consuming the blood, it's from consuming the meat.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting. It's,
Yeah.
it, and you thought
I don't even know what to say
pedophilia
to
was
that.
bad? That's nothing. You know, I mean, Bohemian Grove, they do child sacrifice. They do them on the solstice, summer and winter. They probably even do them on the equinox. You know?
That's all messed up, man. I don't even know what to say to something like that.
What can you say? I mean, here's the thing. I thought about this earlier today. I was in traffic, and I was following this old guy in a nice-looking pickup, you know.
All
And we
right.
pull up to this intersection, and we're both making a left turn. And this guy from straight across comes out across, and the guy behind him tails him right across the intersection, okay? Well, the guy in the
Okay.
truck, he lost his cool. He blows the horn, you know, and he gets all flustered. And he goes through the intersection, turns left, goes through the intersection. I turn left, I'm going behind him, and I'm thinking about it. It's like, you know, what changed?
Right.
Okay, after all the horn blowing and the hand waving and who knows how much complaining inside the cab of that truck, what changed?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got slowed down. Everybody got their spot exactly where they were going to be. Okay, the only difference was some old guy in a pickup decided he was going to spaz out because, I don't know, he saw something he didn't like. Okay? This is something you can't change. This is undue stress. Unnecessary stress. Okay?
Right.
Life is too short for that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. So, oh goodness, I got a cat up here now. He's blocking my keyboard.
Teaching the cats how to type now, are you?
Yeah, oh yeah. But, I'm lost. I lost what I was thinking. It's sick. There's a lot of sick stuff going on. The Podesta brothers are in it. They've been closing down child trafficking rings. You
Right.
know, it's crazy. They got a woman in California, and they showed the video. Okay, arresting this woman, and most of the mainstream media places are telling you, "Oh, it's she's undocumented, you know, and she's been here for a while. She's undocumented. This is just terrible the way they're hauling these people out of the house like that, you know." And then you find out, well, not only is she undocumented, she's been trafficking children. This what she's been doing, trafficking. You know, it's like, oh well, you mean she's bringing them in and you know and pulling them from the other country in? No, she'll bring them in from the other country. She'll sell them, and they'll be distributed wherever. You ever see those signs on the highway that says "big money"? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Earn big money. Do you like to travel? You know, earn money while you travel. You know, right? $600 a week or something like that. These are the human trafficking places where they sell people that don't even know they're being sold until after they're bought. And oh yeah, And that country we liberated, which Afghanistan, yeah, they're selling slaves there now. $200 for a black man.
What?
Yeah, that's what American freedom did to the Middle East. It's sickening, isn't it?
Yeah, that is very disgusting.
And then we sit back and, oh yeah, we're the people defenders of freedom. Seriously? You're kidding me, right?
That's definitely not my idea of
Are you supposed to
freedom.
lead by example? You know, I mean, actions speak louder than words. I've always believed that. Words are only talk.
Oh yeah, that's a fact on that.
Talk is cheap. And the reason why talk is cheap is because supply is greater than demand.
That's a good way of putting it.
Right?
That's a good way of putting it. I'm going to remember that one.
Just the way it is. There's too much unnecessary stress, and it's hurting people's health.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, all day, every day, that's pretty much what it is now, you know?
Yeah.
How am I going to make another dollar? How am I going to pay a bill? How am I going to deal with these people? Who's hurting whose feelings? How are they going to deal with it? You know, it's never ending.
Well, it's not just that. It's just people doing things you don't like. It's because you don't like it, you know? Or you're worried about something going on with someone else's life, you know? It's like, why do you worry about someone else's life? What's it to you?
Yeah, I try not to do that.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like I say, here's my theory. Or, I don't know. I read this one day and I liked it. But anyway, small minds talk about people. Average minds talk about events. Great minds talk about ideas. Okay?
Right.
And this is why I come in here and I talk about events. I kind of think of myself as being average. I'm no better than anyone else, you know. But I don't like to be known as having a small mind. I don't like to portray that. So I try to stay away from the people and go on to the event, what it is that happened.
I hear you. For me, I try to be a basic person. If I've got no control over it, I try to leave it be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can feel bad for people. Hey, you know, I'm sorry to hear that or whatever. But if it doesn't concern me, why am I going to wrap myself in it, you know?
Right. Too many people get concerned like that, you know?
Yeah.
They go where they don't belong.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good on that. No, thank you.
Yeah, I told somebody that one day because they asked me about a relationship that I was in. I said, look, don't worry, don't go where you don't belong.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And
if I've got information that I want to give, I will.
They got mad at me.
Oh, well, that's what's wrong with a lot of people nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to be able to speak and want their information now. If it's not their business, they're going to get mad when you tell them it's not their business.
Yeah.
Well,
and just like my dad down to opinion, opinion and belief. You know, that I was taking me a while to put it together, but government is a belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a religion. It's what you believe. It's a belief system. And of course, you've got your figure that you look up to, your godlike figure.
Right.
That you pay homage to, whatever, although you don't think you do. You do what they tell you to do, what they ask you to do. Pay your taxes, get your driver's license. Got to have that stuff, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Do you?
I know you don't, but I do. You know what I mean? I follow suit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, but see, the only people that have rights are the ones that claim those rights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you stick with it. I mean, if you buckle, you're going to lose.
I like the easy life.
Yeah, and what people don't realize is the less you say, the better. As a matter of fact, if you can say nothing, that's good too. Because, I mean, that was one of my defenses when I got pulled over. Am I under arrest?
Right.
What do you mean under arrest? Well, you stop me from going where I'm going. I guess I am under arrest, right? I mean, that is the very definition of the word. So I am under arrest. Do I have a right to remain silent? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, but how do you think it would have gone, if you were there and instead of saying something like, no, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, if
Yeah.
you would have said something like, how can I help you? Or instead of, am I under arrest or something like that? Do you think it would have went smooth and you'd have been on your way or no?
No, I don't know. I mean, things would have went different. I mean, first of all, he told me why he pulled me over.
Okay.
And usually they don't do that. They'll ask you why. Do you know why I pulled you over?
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's usually where you whack them in the knees first time and say, well, your emergency lights are on. I assume there's an emergency. Right?
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Okay.
I'm sure he didn't like it.
Can I help you? Something I can do to help?
Do
you need my help? Well, no. There must be an emergency. You've got emergency procedure. There's an emergency. Do you need my help?
Okay.
That's all. That's why I'm here. I mean, if you need my help, I'm more than happy to help you out. That's what we do as citizens, as people. Yeah. That's what we do. Sure, I'll be more than happy to help you out. You don't want me to?
Right.
But what's the emergency procedure? What's the emergency? There is no emergency? Oh, we've now just committed a felony. But they know that. They know that ahead of time. They want to see if you know it. If you say something and you know it, and they find out you know it, that's usually the cue right there. Oh, there's an emergency.
Right. For me, I'm just easygoing. If they say, do you know why I pulled you over? I have no clue. How may I help you?
Yeah. Well, when he pulled me over, he pointed at my inspection. He says, I pulled you over because that's old. So, okay. License, registration, insurance. Am I under arrest? Well, what do you mean?
I've seen so many videos like that go totally horrible, though.
Yes, but things are different with me.
Right.
I had.
Well,
there's me and a few other ones. We do things different. Okay.
Right.
And we have our own. So, I mean, what works for me might not work for somebody else.
Right.
And it's an individual thing, and that's why I encourage people to look it over, to look it up, to research that. If they want to do it, research it, look it over, make sure you know what you're doing, because if you talk too much, one word too much, and it's over. You've contracted, and you've lost jurisdiction. You've lost it all. So that's what you have to be careful of.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't even try to tackle that, to be honest with you.
Well, it all comes back to invisible contracts. So you ask, well, let me ask you a question. If I answer your question, am I contracting with you?
Okay.
Okay, because I'm not contracting with you. I'm not going to contract with you. That's all. So that's just the way it is. And everything is done by contract. All crimes are commercial in nature. That means they deal in commerce. That means you have a contract with the officer who believes that you are operating, or actually you are engaged in traffic, which is a commercial act, okay? Right?
Right.
Therefore, you have to follow the commercial codes because you're engaged in traffic, which is a commercial activity. Well, no. I'm engaged in a private activity. This is called travel. It's not traffic. I'm not being reimbursed for my time in my car, okay? And since I'm not using it to earn money, it's non-commercial. It's private.
Yeah, that'd be right when they ripped me out of my vehicle.
That's why the only license plate I have on my truck says private. There is no state license plate. There's nothing that marks on my truck that says it has anything to do with the state at all. Nothing.
Okay.
The old inspection sticker, I scraped it right off the windshield. It's gone. And I put a private license plate on the back. I go everywhere with that truck. I've been seen, I can't tell you how many times with it. You know, I mean, it's just
Right.
the way it is. And it wasn't it in Oregon where they ruled that there was a guy who was sleeping in his truck. Oh, his truck is his home. You have to have a search warrant. It's his home. And you can't take it away. You can't tow it and impound it.
I don't even know what
like
to
it.
say to that.
I like it.
Sounds good. I mean, I want to keep my property too.
Right? And California decided they were going to do something sane, and they're not going to suspend licenses anymore because of past due fines. Because, hey, how can you earn the money to pay your fines if you can't drive?
Yeah, that was something that always confused me. I'm not going to lie.
Exactly.
You know, all these, like a friend of mine, child support. If you don't pay child support, you're going to jail. Well,
Right.
how am I going to work if I'm sitting in jail and I'm $20 behind? You're going to put me in jail over that?
And you see, with me, it was like when I was younger, I couldn't afford to buy a nice car. I'd buy
Right.
cars and I'd nurse them along, you know. Well, I've got to pay a registration and all this bull crap on this car that might last me a week or 2 weeks because of what it is. Are you crazy?
Right. I
No,
hear you.
no. Hey, if I find out it ain't roadworthy, I'm not going to waste more money to register and insure that thing than what I paid for it. Which is literally the way it was.
Right. Oh, I remember being younger having those problems. I totally understand that.
I remember when I was a kid, I'd buy a car for $15 and a case of beer. You know, those
Right.
were the days. I had a '66 Skylark Grand Sport convertible with the old nailhead, right?
Okay.
That car was worth, I don't know, upwards of 30 grand today. I bought it at a dealer for $300 back then. That was back
Nice.
in '77.
Nice.
Yeah, 76, 77. It was about 10 years old when I bought it. So, we used to have the 10-year title law, you know. That's back when they made cars to go 100,000 miles an hour, and that was 100,000 miles, that was it. Okay. And at 60,000, you were changing your timing chain faithfully, along with the timing gear, because they were nylon. Right?
Okay.
Certain little things. See, I was a mechanic back when I was a kid, can you tell?
No.
And I had to be, because that's how I kept my cars going. I couldn't afford to take my car to the shop, you know. I took it there once for control arm bushings, right? And I get the thing
Okay.
back, and the tires are towed in like crazy. I got brand new tires on it, right? I wore them down within a week. I go, hey, you got to line the front end on this. Oh, we can't line the front end. You've got a dent in one of the A-frames. Seriously? Really? I'll fix that. I bought another pair of tires. I took it home. I took a tape measure outside, and I adjusted it with a tape measure. Put the tires. Those tires were on it until I got rid of it.
That's the way to do it right there.
Yeah. Yep. The old '65 Cadillac. That was a boat. 18 feet 9 inches long.
No doubt. That is definitely a boat.
Oh yeah.
That's a big boat.
You could fit 3 people on the front seat and their hips wouldn't touch. Oh yeah. That's back when they made cars, when you had room, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Now let's see how small we can make it
Yeah.
and how much plastic we can put in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what happened was they towed it in too far. It was towed way in. And I could feel it in the steering wheel too, you know. Believe it or not, back then they had automatic headlight dimmers. You don't
I don't
even have
remember
that
that.
today. We don't have
Automatic headlight dimmers.
headlight dimmers, yep. And you could adjust them for the distance, for the amount of light that they'd pick up. They had a little sensor right in the grill, you know.
That's sweet.
Yeah, automatic headlight dimmers. My father had it on his 54 Oldsmobile, but the sensor was on the dashboard. And what he would do is he would put his hand over it. If there was somebody that had their high beams on, he'd put his hand over it to cover it up. And the high beams would come on, and he'd pull his hand off and it'd lower again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the dimmer switches are on the floor. That's how the regular, how you regularly dim them. But yeah, the automatic headlight dimmer was adjustable by a ring around the headlight switch.
Oh, you're talking on the floor, that button that you could push with your foot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
what I hate was those things get rusty. And you'd
And
step
get
on
stuck.
it. Yeah, and it'd stick. Oh, yeah, yeah, and you're kicking the heck out of it, going, come on, come on, come on.
Yep.
You're trying to dim your lights, you know. You can't get it to pop back up. My cousin had a Rambler. They had one of those little push-button levers with the foot for the windshield washer.
Oh, see, I've never seen that. I've only seen the button for high beams and low beams, you know what I mean?
He had one that was a foot pump under the dashboard for the windshield washer.
Huh. Never seen that.
Yeah. Those were the days. All the rolling speedometer, oh my God. Oldsmobile had those. My father had an Olds with one of those in it. You ever seen those?
No.
They start off green and they get up to, what is it, like 40 miles an hour, and they turn yellow. All it is like a scroll on the back, like a wheel on the back. And instead of having the numbers facing you, have that thing facing you with the dial on it, it went the other way, and it was hooked to a roll. And the roll would roll up. Yeah, they had a magnifying glass, a magnifier in the front of it, so you could see what color it was and where it was, where it was reading. It went straight across the dash, straight across your instrument, your speedometer, and it would roll up, and it would change color as it rolled up. You get 40, it would hit yellow, and when you hit 55 or 60, it would hit red.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen one of those. And, of course, I was raised with a standard shift. I learned how to drive on a farm tractor.
I understand that one.
But the 3 on the tree was pretty column.
I only had the pleasure of those a couple times.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I had 65 Falcon. I wound up busting that collar because, well, kids, right?
Oh yeah.
You can't speed shift to column shift. Well, I could until I broke the collar.
Of course. Free on the tree.
First car I drove was a '58 Volkswagen.
Nice.
Yeah, that was an old one.
I wonder if anybody's going to call in tonight.
Oh, hey, you know what? We do take call-ins, huh? We got
as long
call-ins.
as it's not, as long as it's nothing that's, a downer or, anything like that.
Yeah, right. Anything you want to talk about, give us a call. There's only 2 of us tonight, and J-Dub's not used to being on the radio. He's been the silent act here for a long time. I told him to tune up his vocal cords for the show, but
I'm trying.
I'm trying to think of what our number is here.
It's hiding.
216-773-772-1330. Is that what it is? Oh boy. You know what?
For the Skype?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 216-772-1330. That's our Skype number. Skype ID.
Yes.
Show us, don't tell. Too many numbers? What do you mean too many numbers?
216-772-1330.
Yeah.
That's not too many numbers.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
We didn't put in the one to begin with, but yeah. Who uses that nowadays?
That's kind of what I was thinking. But if you want to use the one, I'm sure, go ahead. If it makes you feel better, have at it.
As long as you're in here. I believe so. Oh, thank you, Bruce. Thank you very much. Bruce says it's 216-772-1330.
See?
Yeah.
Looky there. And the truth comes out.
I was slipping. My memory's going, man.
I thought that's what I said, though. 216-772-1330.
Yeah, that's what you said. Anyway.
I'm so confused.
I've been going through my Facebook stuff here. 76 arrested in a child exploitation bust. I love it. A total of 76 people were arrested and several children were helped in a multi-agency sting spanning 8 southeastern states, including Florida, Georgia.
Jesus. I'll just never understand it, I guess. My mind doesn't work that way, so I don't get it.
I won't either. They fired McCabe, so he's not going to get his retirement. So I guess he doesn't want to play ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
MIT. What's his name? Netanyahu went to MIT, Yeah, he went there with Romney. They were buddy-buddies. They speak the same language. They talk code,
Yeah, good for them. Have at it.
Yeah, exactly. The swamp is deep.
Yeah.
The swamp
See,
is
that's
deep.
a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the thing is, Trump is putting these people in key positions, and he's giving them enough rope to hang themselves.
Right.
And in the case of McCabe, it's like, you want to play?
Well, they want to play. It's his bat, his ball, his field. Are you going to play
ball? You're not going to play ball? Guess what?
Yep.
Okay. There goes your retirement.
I just couldn't fathom that, though, man.
And
for some reason, it just feels like dirty pool.
Right.
That you worked that long, they just took everything away from one foul swoop. You're done.
Unreal. Somebody made a Lego figure of Stephen Hawking. How can you screw up square pieces? But hey.
Well,
we got a call coming in from area code 828. 828. What's your name? Tell us where you're calling from. Hello.
Oh.
We had him there. We've got a call from area code 828. Who is this?
Hey, Papa there. This is Mike D for life. Mike D.
Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm enjoying my birthday early. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're quite welcome. You feel old yet?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's just awesome. St. Patrick's Day has always been a cool day to have a birthday on, but I've never been a drinker, so it's kind of been a big waste.
I used to be.
Hey, it's never too late to start.
Hey, I've always been the DD. I was always the DD. I made a killing on the way home. I'm giving people rides, But I was going to ask you what you thought about the new CIA director. You didn't bring that up.
The woman?
Yeah.
The first woman CIA director. I don't know what to think of her.
she's the black site torture queen. Evidently, she's a international war crimes. They're wanting for for torture. So I just wondered if you'd heard anything about that or if you had any input on that. But
what you hear is the propaganda. You know what I mean?
They're fighting to have her.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe anymore because mainstream media, they cover up so much, and the reporting is sporadic. Sometimes you get good stuff, and sometimes you don't.
It happened during Bush Jr.'s term, I think, is when they said all the stuff that she did actually happened. But sounds like they're pitching a fit. The Dems or the lefties, whatever you want to call them, are pitching a fit about her. But they're doing that for anything that Trump does. Hell, he could save the world and cure cancer, and they would still get mad and try to blame it on Russia. Blame it on Russia. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, my mom's still asleep. She don't really see. She hasn't woke up yet, and she watches the news, and she's getting to the point where she's getting sick of this Russia stuff. Like it's it's Russia this, Russia this. Hillary just can't go away. I mean, you got to give it up. You got to give it to them. They put up a fight over Trump. They ain't back down. They've tried to.
Oh, exactly.
They didn't let him go.
But I mean, see, here's the thing. They lost, okay, and they're still fighting. And to this day, they keep picking on that Russian collusion thing. Russia collusion. Russia.
Collusion's not even a charge. I've heard.
It's not. It's not a crime.
It's not even a crime, and they've convinced the American public that it's.
but what they did was they set up a whole bunch of pawns. Okay, they thought they were, I don't know, rooks and knights or something, but they're pawns just the same. They're useful idiots.
13 robots.
And they've got
indicted 13 bots.
They've got a whole cabinet full of useful idiots. And instead of any of them saying anything, to blow this out of the water, just say, look, this is going nowhere. And of course, it's already been said several times it's going nowhere.
Why doesn't Trump just tell them to stop? I mean, Trump's their boss. I mean, he's over the he can tell him to stop. I figured when he fired Comey, he would fire Mueller, but I mean, it didn't work out like that.
No, because of all the noise that would be made. Come on.
Well, you got to keep people quiet,
Look at Schiff, right?
Yeah, they'll charge him with collusion.
You got crazy Adam Schiff. Who knows what he's doing? I don't know. Gowdy's out of the picture now, but I don't know. He concerns me.
I've had so many people ask me what collusion was, and I'm like, it's
exactly.
It's really something if you watch the
It's like okay, what is a conspiracy? Do you know what it means to conspire? Okay.
When more than two people want to do something.
I was involved in a conspiracy once that I'm going to mention. Okay, that conspiracy.
That you're going to mention.
This conspiracy with this. My sister's husband went to go work out at the gym, and while he was gone, we decorated the place for his birthday. And when I went back and picked him up and brought him back home, the place was all decorated. We had a surprise party. He never even knew what was going on. That's a conspiracy.
I agree.
Right?
More than three people talk about going to eat somewhere. That's a conspiracy.
2 people.
Yeah, we used to roll people's houses with toilet paper.
Exactly. So we conspired to have a birthday party without him knowing. Okay, that's a conspiracy.
Thursday bought the toilet paper.
That's the fun conspiracy.
So, I don't know what else to say.
Oh, I've always with a collusion. That's a funny word.
Yeah. So,
I
if you can say there's a conspiracy going on, if there's two people communicating to do some sort of an act, yes, it's a conspiracy. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's a conspiracy, right?
Yep.
And it's not a theory.
Yeah, right.
Not a theory. It's a fact. Now, when you start analyzing the situations, analyzing the news and things like that, they get mad because you are disseminating information. Okay? You're not allowed to do
Well,
that.
yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. You can't do
No,
that.
they just want you to
you
believe
can't
in
think
God.
critically. It's illegal.
It's-
Therefore,
it's
therefore, you are a conspiracy theorist because you theorize a conspiracy. Big deal.
They're just grasping at
So what
straws.
if I say I don't theorize as a conspiracy? I know it. Or I don't know it and I don't theorize it, but I'm asking questions to get some information, not to
Somebody
expose
tells
a
them to do
conspiracy, not to expose a conspiracy, but to form an opinion.
Debate on it.
Because my opinion, like anyone else's, my opinion is mine. Your opinion is yours, right? And my
Well, it
opinion
works,
doesn't mean
yeah.
a hill of beans to you.
So it's not
Unless
it's
I
not a
agree with it.
conspiracy.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, yeah. If you don't agree with me, my opinion doesn't amount to a hill of beans. It
Oh
doesn't
no,
mean
I
anything.
agree with you on most everything you say. I was saying like if you pick the phone up and call somebody to do something and we don't debate, it's not a conspiracy. It's
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, don't tell me you agree with everything I say because you'll have me thinking I'm some sort of god or something.
I agree with it. I agree with it. I listen to you. I listen to you a lot of times. A lot of your legal stuff scares me. It makes a lot of sense, but it scares me. I'd love to hear, but I'm afraid. I mean, we got some cool DAs, so they don't.
I got to be careful
Like
when I
cattle.
talk about that stuff though because I've been visited already. You know.
It's like saying you have the cure for cancer on the radio.
Right.
But that's the thing. I
Right.
mean, cancer is nothing. It's a guaranteed every time. It'll work. The problem is, it's not with the legal stuff.
No,
It
why
works
does it
different. See, you can
why does
have
it say
all
it's illegal, but
you can have all the information I have. I mean, if you knew everything I knew, it would be awesome. It would be great. But you can't use it the same way I use
On the
it
radio.
effectively because it's no different than a phone call. Okay? When the phone call comes in, do you know if it's going to be a good call or a bad call?
You don't know until you answer, right?
Exactly. You don't know. Okay? This is why I say nothing's good, nothing's bad. All right? It just is. And it varies depending on your experience with it. Like fire, right? Fire?
Right.
Good if you're cooking breakfast. Bad if your house is on fire. Right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's
I always wondered why God made us with cannabinoid receptors if we wasn't supposed to have cannabis in our system. I learned that in anatomy, and I was like, wait a second. We have
Yeah.
cannabinoid receptors, but we don't have heroin receptors, and we don't have cocaine receptors, but we have cannabis receptors.
right. That's right. Right.
So there's
And
a
then
reason for everything.
we're taking on all these chemicals that are hardening that pineal gland.
Right.
Fluoride.
Fluoride is one of them. Yeah. But there's
We used to have the
aluminum.
little,
Your
the
aluminum
little
just
switch cups.
yeah, it kills off your nerve endings and yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Mercury does the same thing. You'll find that people who have Alzheimer's usually have a greater aluminum content.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
with age, your frontal lobe shrinks. And to prevent your frontal lobe from shrinking, you should partake in activities like meditation or prayer. How about that?
Yeah, I was trying to explain to my sister why my niece's Prozac had the generic name fluoride. Pretty much just fluoride on the bottle.
Oh.
Prozac. It's just, I mean, that's all it is fluoride.
Oh my! See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, look at the generic name
Yeah.
for Prozac. Look that up. It's fluoridium or something. I'm not really exactly sure how you say it, but it's just fluoricium or something. It's pretty much fluoride with two extra letters.
Huh.
Oh yeah, let's all take that. Sounds wonderful.
Oops.
Yeah.
Injection, yeah.
Fluoxetine. I think it's fluoxetine or something, but it's pretty much fluoride. And I wonder why all these kids are running this school shooting people every day. I mean, we used to have cartoons with Yosemite Sam shooting every single thing he's seen, and nobody ran into schools when I was a kid. I mean, they try to say cartoons and video games, not.
Now I know why the kids are telling us to turn in our guns.
Right. Yeah, but when we were kids, if we did something stupid, we paid for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even think of doing something like that. It wouldn't even cross our minds.
And
Yeah,
But we also
actually,
knew.
I'm pretty proud because you've got some parents out there who actually put their foot down about the kids with the a gun control march, or well, it was supposed to be something different than a gun control march. It was supposed to be in memory of the children that lost their lives at the school shooting, right? But then they turned it into a gun control rally. And I have to say that some states, you've got some people that are upset that it was done.
They had a
Legislators
couple kids
even.
suspended for that. They had a couple kids suspended for not walking out. I've seen that on the.
You had some
mainstream
suspended for not walking out. You had some that were suspended for walking out. You know,
We had to sign a permission slip.
It varied
to let our
from
kids do
school
it.
to school. You know,
Yeah, I didn't let my daughter.
That's-
We had to sign a permission slip to let them do it, and I didn't let my daughter. So she had to stay in the school and do schoolwork. Do schoolwork. So you punish the kids who don't walk out. You make them do schoolwork, and let the other kids walk out and just kill an hour and a half for nothing.
Yeah.
See, that's what I see. First off, I'm going to give you credit. All right. And second off, what I don't understand is how you're going to punish a child for not doing something that's in my mind, you're there to learn. You're not there to protest or anything else. So I don't understand why they're going in this direction. First off, it's totally above my mind and my brain capacity. Second off, last time I checked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Second, the second thing is they're all under 18. If they have an opinion, they need to do it peacefully and not by interrupting an educational system. And third off, how dangerous is it that all these people know that all these kids are going out of school at this exact time, and there's no way, I don't care how many teachers you have, that you're going to be able to protect all these kids and or know what they're doing out there.
They had some Walmarts that were looted. They had some businesses that were looted by kids that walked out.
Here's the bottom line, okay? If it's a walkout, the kids walk out. It's a protest, right? If they're joined by teachers, it's a field trip.
Okay? Ding, ding, ding.
That's why we had to sign a permission slip for our kids to do it.
Right. Exactly. It's a field trip.
You know, I stood up during a parenting class. I'm a single father. I'm raising a little girl. And I stood up in a parenting class about 3 months ago, and I asked them, I was like, how am I supposed to raise a child when I can't do anything that I was done to be raised? That you can't discipline the same way. Nothing that I remember being raised the way I can be a parent. I can't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Well, I give
counselor
you
looked
credit,
me out.
I would encourage
I'll give you
people.
credit, man.
I would encourage people to homeschool their children if they can. You know, there's so much more.
There's a lot of
to
issues
learn.
with that, though. In
North Carolina,
there's a lot of issues.
North Carolina, they have the pretty much slackest homeschool laws. You can just send in a letter one day and say you're homeschooling your kid, and as long as you send off, and I mean, North Carolina, there's no rules about it. You can walk around the woods for 8 hours with your kid and tell them what kind of trees there is, and that's considered school. You can walk around downtown and look at buildings for architecture. That's considered school.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some pretty good laws here.
Yeah.
Right on.
But it'll change. It'll change pretty quick. But I don't know. I'm pretty impressed with Trump.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
I just want to say something real quick on the homeschooling thing. When I was a kid, we had some kids that were homeschooled that came to our school. Everyone thought they were weird. Okay. They didn't have the social skills that we thought were normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went.
And
I,
now that
I
I
went to
think,
private school. It was
okay,
like that at a private school.
okay. So now when I think back on it, though, it totally makes sense because all these kids that are doing nothing but on their phone, I'm once again, looking and going, they're not acting right. So I
And
guess
the
maybe
homeschool
we
kids are starting their careers. Yeah, all
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids that we had a private school and we didn't have a sports league when I was younger, and we had to go to the public school system, and a lot of the kids were, ostracized, I guess you would say, for being homeschooled. But 9 out of 10 of those homeschool kids are way more well off and educated and
I agree.
than the private
Yeah.
or the public kids school. And I'm not cracking on public schools. It's just those
No.
kids, you know what I'm saying? All the the
Just
hip
the way
hop
it
thing
is.
to be in the public school thing is the kids that ain't getting anywhere. I mean, it's not necessarily the teacher's fault. I think it's more the system than it is the teachers. But thanks for the birthday wish. I'm gonna get off here and let somebody else call. Everybody have a happy
All right.
St. Patrick's Day, and have a safe.
Same to you.
It's always one of the biggest party weekends of the year when it's St. Patrick's Day falls. So everybody be safe.
All
You
right.
too, and happy birthday once again, buddy.
Happy birthday,
Thanks,
Mike.
Baba. Have a good evening, guys.
You too. You know what we haven't done, Shay?
Won the lottery.
That is a point. I never thought about that one. But
And
what
then
we
I'll say
haven't
break.
what we haven't done is we haven't taken our break at the top of the hour. We missed it.
All right.
We're slacking, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Anyway, you're listening to Show Us, Don't Tell Us on the L&M Radio Network, and don't go away. We'll be back.
The rising rate of autism is not just concerning, it's a disaster. No matter what the cause of it is something that everyone should be acutely aware of and actively helping out those in the community that have it. That is why Adventures in Autism was created. Adventures in Autism is a show inspired by our life with our son Seth and the many experiences his autism has brought to our lives. Each episode we bring you the topic of the week, news about autism, and resources to help you and your family or friends out in their own adventures with autism. Tune in Mondays at noon and midnight on lnmradionetwork.com or openeyesnetwork.com and get involved in the community. Let our experiences be an inspiration to you.
Attention L&M Radio Network listeners. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of the L&M Radio Network by calling 605-562-4203? No smartphone app or internet needed. Saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call 605-562-4203 to listen to the L&M Radio Network on any phone, anytime, anywhere.
There are days that the red pill is bitter in my stomach, but I can't get it back out. I think because I have to. I speak because I have no choice. I walk through this dark age we're in with open eyes. Listen to Open Eyes on LateNightInTheMidlands.com. And together, maybe we won't stumble and fall. The Late Night in the Midlands radio network is deeply devoted to you, the listener. We feel it is necessary to bring you all of the information that you can use in your life. Each and every day, you will find something to listen to here. And whether you come away from the shows informed, inspired, or entertained, it is our passion. We don't bow to corporations, and we don't have handlers to tell us what not to talk about. We bring you everything. Late Night in the Midlands, however, is fully listener supported. We need your help to stay on the air and to make sure that we get the bills paid. We need your help to keep the truth alive. If you feel that you have gotten anything out of Late Night in the Midlands, we would appreciate your support. You can become a subscriber and help us out on a monthly basis, or if you'd like, a one-time donation is fully appreciated as well. Every year, the average household in America spends over $3,000 on entertainment alone. If you could help us with just a tiny fraction of that amount, you would make all of the difference. Go to latenightinthemidlands.com and click on the subscribe button. Thank you, and as always, keep yourself informed.
Music by Ben Sound, bensound.com. You're listening to Show Us Don't Tell Us, and this is lnmradionetwork.com or latenightinthemidlands.com. You can catch us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or on the Paranormal Radio app, or 101.7 FM WCET Columbia Talk. My goodness, I think I got them all out there. There's a bunch more other places where you're going to catch us, but the big place you're going to catch us, lnmradionetwork.com or latenightinthemidlands.com. That's about it right there. We've got another caller coming in here, J-Dub. We got another caller. My goodness, I've got to change my settings here just so we can take our caller in. And
All right.
this looks to me like Mr. Perkins. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Pop Bear. How you and Jay doing?
Not bad, not bad.
Doing good.
What prompts
Thanks
you
for
to
asking.
call Show Us Don't Tell Us?
First of all, I want to say shout out to Skillethead. I know he's not there this weekend, but I know he's probably going to listen. And your buddy Mike, I know he's missing too. So
Yeah, Mike's
shout out to
MIA.
both.
He had to go get some parts. You know, I
Yeah,
wish him
don't
well.
you hate it when life gets in the way?
He's building a Mustang, so yeah.
Oh, as well. Let me commend you on a beautiful show Wednesday with Peter Kling. That was an absolutely fabulous hour.
Was it?
I listened to the whole show, and I was sitting at Panera Bread, and there was hardly anybody there. I'm thinking, this is a major restaurant, and there's nobody here. Is the food that bad, or nobody wants coffee, or what? What's the deal? You know?
Yeah, you
But
know.
then
I guess our
you
voices are out of tune.
Yeah, you came on by 10 o'clock my time, and then it started getting a few people in there left and right, you know. So I got up and went on so I could listen to the show.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance, people, go back and find that show Papa did Wednesday with Peter Kling and give it a listen. It's well worth your time.
Actually, I've got the YouTube channel. It's called What's Out There. And you can go to the YouTube channel and catch our replays.
Oh, looky there.
But that
Getting
show is called
popular.
What's Out There, and that's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. to noon Eastern. And it's just me all by myself, except on Wednesdays. Wednesday, I got Peter Kling with me. So, and I don't know how permanent that's going to be.
Well, Definitely a good show. Tonight, my wife and I went to Walgreens to get my mother-in-law's medicine, and we decided we'd go to Target. You know, she didn't have any college homework online, so we decided we'd go to Target and get a few things, you know.
Yeah.
And as we're walking in the store, you know, they got the big lines across the crossway that you go into the entrance. And it was raining, and this guy came along in an SUV, and my wife was walking in that crosswalk, and he got about a foot from hitting her and slammed on his brakes, and I hollered at him. She looked at him. She said, "Did you not see me walking in this crosswalk? You got a stop sign there. You trying to run me down? What's the deal?" So she turned around and walked on. I started walking across. He tried to run over me. So see, got some idiots out there. So anyway, we go inside. I get a smart cart because you know I can't walk the floors as good, and I've been dizzy a lot lately. And we get back on the back side where the freezers are, and there's about a 7 or 8 year old kid back there just squeaking his doggone tennis shoes, just squeak, 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 and his daddy's not saying a word to him. His older brother's standing there with him, and he's not saying a word to him. I wanted to snatch him up and jerk a knot in his butt, but then I got to thinking, you know, if the parent don't say anything, what kind of parenting skills does that show? I mean, he finally said something to him after about a couple of minutes. Okay, let's go, boys. That's enough. But I mean, the damage was done. He showed his butt. And I just shook my head and told my wife, I said, you know, it just shows how bad the parents are that they don't stop their kids from misbehaving and acting like little idiots or snowflakes or whatever you want to call them. And it's just, you know, embarrassing. If I'd have done that, my mom and daddy would have yanked me up and blistered my butt. Probably pulled my pants down and did it with a hand right there in front of everybody to embarrass me even more.
Now you see how we are. We expect everyone to be in line all the time, and then when they're not, we get offended. We're just, well, it's not good for your health. You can't change it. But I do remember
it wasn't my business, and I just let it go. But I rode away, and I really it just irked me that he would stand there and let his son squeak his tennis shoes on that floor like that, and embarrass him. At least say something to him.
You know what I would have done? I would have said to the kid, "Hey, you know what? I remember doing this when I was a kid. Do you make them long ones that sounds like a car burning out in the street? You do them like that? Those are the good ones. Those are the ones that, you know, it sounds like a long burnout, makes cops look. Those are cool. They're even better if you can leave marks with them. You got black shoes? You got black marks so you can leave? No? You know what? Tennis shoes are the best things for taking scuff marks up off the waxed floor."
Yeah, you're like me. I kind of turn it into a little bit of fun. Like if my kids do it, they'll do it for like 2 squeaks and then look at me and kind of laugh and be done with it. If somebody else does it though, you know, me and my kids are laughing and looking at that kid going, "Wow, it was okay for the first, 20 seconds, but after that, but
it gets old.
I guess it's a generation thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the kids with these roller blade shoes has got the little wheel things in the back of them, riding around like they're on roller skates. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Wheelie shoes or whatever. And they think they're so cool, but they're looking like a first class idiot. It's not. They're not cool, and then somebody's got to clean those marks up off the floor. You know whoever's having to do the buffing machine is raising holy hell.
I have to tell you, there are different standards for men than there are women. And it's blatant, and it's right with the younger generation.
Well, what do you mean by that?
You see the guys walking around with the belt down around their crotch, right?
Oh, I can't. No.
Their pants are hanging right out. I mean, you can see their boxers. Do
Yeah,
women
I
do
don't-
that?
I don't.
You know what that is, don't you?
Do women do
That
that?
was that was when I was working in prison. That was a sign to let somebody know your booty was
Yeah.
available for
Yeah,
sex.
I get it. I get
That
it.
was a homosexual thing.
I get it.
But
Do women do
These
that?
kids now don't do that. And no,
No.
women got more standards and then these young guys that go around thinking they're cool and it's a gang thing, you know, and wearing their hats backwards.
So they
or
treat
sideways.
themselves unequally, don't they? It's
Mhm.
not society
Well, I-
that doesn't treat them equally. They do it to themselves.
Well, I think it's a respect thing. I don't think that anybody's that's an equal or not.
Well,
I think it's
so
a
it makes it
respect.
different. No, but it makes them different. Something is different there. Something is different. And it's not because of pressure from society. Okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's a chemistry difference. There's a difference between the way men and women think. They think differently. And that's why they're compatible. Because they're not the
Well,
same.
I understand that because women want to protect themselves. You know, they wouldn't go hanging their breasts out or hanging their, their
Oh,
butt
come
out or
on.
anything
Cut
else.
it
You know?
out. You don't know
Well,
some
maybe
women I know.
some of
I don't
some
even
of
know
them.
what to say.
You don't know some of the women I know. But I'm
Well,
talking a majority. You know what I mean?
Okay, should I say respective? Respectable?
Yeah, I got you. But by the same token, that doesn't explain the fact that these idiots are walking around swallowing Tide Pods and drinking Clorox and trying to clean out their gene pool.
Yeah, I'll never get that. I'm sorry. I can't even add to that because it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
If you know it's poison, why would you do it in the first place? It's just like this cinnamon challenge I have on YouTube. If you swallow enough cinnamon and it gets down in your lungs, you're not going to be able to breathe.
That's right.
So why would you do something stupid like that? Oh,
I don't know. Want a cigarette?
Hold my
yeah.
beer and watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the stove burner challenge, right?
Yeah, I
You
don't
get
get
the
it.
coils burning red hot and you lay your arm on it. Yeah. Oh yeah,
boy.
that's pretty smart too.
Well, I got to admit, when I was a kid, we would play chicken with cigarettes on our arms, but that's completely different than a stove, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
same difference, I guess.
I'll tell you.
Not
know,
really sure.
my sister makes mistakes when she's cooking. She'll burn herself. Okay. Well, I have
Of course.
aloe activator. Stuff
Okay.
is like really thin. Okay. I've got this aloe activator, and I put some of that on a burn, and it's gone within a couple of minutes. You never even know you got burned. Okay. Really good stuff. People don't think about that, I never
Right.
knew about it when I was younger, but now I'll tell you, this stuff, I swear by it. Especially, there's a woman that lives next door or down the street here, and she came up and she's waving her foot around, and I go, "What's wrong?" And she says, "Well, I spilled hot water on my foot, and I burned it. It was scalding hot water." I said, "Well, here, put some of this on it." I gave her some activator. Just a few drops, she rubbed it on, or wiped it on, and then she says, "Oh my God," she said, it's gone. I said, "Yeah." She said, "It was gone instantly, just gone, period." So, stuff is awesome. I swear by aloe activator for a burn. I really do.
Well, a lot of people drink the aloe vera juice too, and
Yes.
they say it
Stuff is
helps them out.
nasty. It's
Yeah, it
nasty.
does
They add a
taste
flavor to it. It's the
good.
nastiest flavor ever. Yeah.
Yum.
Good for you,
But-
but it sure don't taste like fruit punch.
No, but the thing is, what the aloe does, it helps heal your esophagus from having a lot of acid reflux. And it gets rid of your acid reflux now. Why would it do that? High pH. It does the same thing baking soda does. It gets rid
Yeah.
of that now. Okay? And if you're taking stuff. What is it for heartburn? It's what, time released, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Don't.
Prilosec and all that.
Yeah, that stuff will kill you. Come on, it's pharmaceuticals, you know. And if you're getting the flu this time of year, it's going to be tough because people coming and going and coming and going, you know. Don't take Tamiflu. People have died from the flu, and 8 people died, 7 of them vaccinated, all 8 took Tamiflu. Okay, stay away from the Tamiflu. Please.
All right.
Well, these people think I'm an idiot when I walk into a pharmacy and ask them where the colloidal silver is. They think, oh, that's outdated. That's from the 1800s. But if you take a little bit at a time and get your body used to it, you'll find out you don't get sick as much as the average person does.
It's a disinfectant. It removes the
How much of it
infections
you
from your
take?
body. Huh?
Well,
How
a
much
couple
of
of
it do
drops.
you take?
Couple of drops in a
It
glass
depends.
of water.
It
And the
varies depending on the content. If you're using like 10 parts per million, you might want to take I don't know, a couple 3 ounces. You know, if you're using like 250 or 500 parts per million, you only want a few drops. You know.
I put it in my dog's water. One my Chihuahua, she's like 11 or 12, and Bobo, my mother-in-law's dog, is like 15. And I noticed when I put it in the water and they drink it, they seem to get along better. But when I don't put it in the water, they just kind of like mope around, and it does make a difference, especially in an older dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's a disinfectant. Back when they had ice boxes before, you know, your refrigerators, when they delivered milk in jugs and you had silver coins, right? They'd take a dime and drop a dime down inside the milk bottle. And what that would do is it would keep that milk fresh longer.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because of the silver. Okay. So yeah,
Wow.
colloidal silver is a very good thing. And you can actually, if you wanted to keep your milk from souring, if it usually sours before you can drink it, you can add some of that to it to prevent it from souring too.
But you sure don't want to drop a nail in no Coca-Cola, because a couple of days the nail's gone.
Well, Coca-Cola is good for cleaning rust off chrome. You know.
Well, it's also good for cleaning battery posts on your car when they're corroded.
Yeah, it's good for cleaning a lot of stuff. With all that acid that's in it, the only thing is it leaves it sticky. You got to wash it off when you're done.
You can clean your toilet.
I have so many jokes.
That's about all it's good for.
Unreal.
So it sounds like you're getting around the stores and stuff, so you must be feeling a little bit better, huh?
Yeah, I'm still a little dizzy. I hadn't figured out if it's my insulin or if it's my stuff that they got me taking. For some reason, I get a little dizzy when I stand up, but when I sit down and lay down, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Except the other night, I was sitting there watching YouTube with the wife, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I got up and spun around and took 2 steps, fell over to my right and fell on the ground. I was so dizzy, I didn't know what hit me. 15 minutes later, it's like nothing happened. I don't know what made me so just off balance. So unless I got a sinus infection, you know. But
I was about to say, do you have a sinus infection or earaches or anything, bud?
Right.
Well, my right ear's been hurting, so it kind of does it. And while I'm at it, my mom went and bought me a $243 rollator the other day. Of course, it's a big one because I'm a bigger person. I'm 290 pounds. But she got me one of the whole 500 pounds. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to paint some flames on this damn thing and soup it up.
There you go.
Yes, I already got a burgundy paint job, so all I need to do is stick some flames, get one of those little horns like you put on the little bike, beep, 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 and just go to town.
You're going to buy them flame stickers for it, or Get decals or something. Or,
One of those little bells like we used to have on the bicycle. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
I remember when we were kids, we used to put the baseball cards in the spokes, and of course, we didn't always tearing up a good card, but we put the baseball cards in the spokes and had the big old flag hanging off the and riding on those chopper bikes like we were Evil Knievel. Of course, that was our hero back in the
With the
70s.
banana seat and the sissy bar.
Yeah, well, we had chopper bikes that were purple and had the flames on them. And I remember I was going to baseball practice one day, and the front end of that doggone thing broke, and I got all wrapped in the chain. And my cousin was a baseball coach, and he had a fit. He was laughing so hard when he came to get me out of that bike. But that was we had fun times back then. We got out and played in the sunshine. We your telephone only reached
Yeah.
as far as that long cord would go. When it got dark, you got back on your doorstep or you showed up in your house. We ate supper with our parents, and I do that now with my wife and my mother-in-law. We eat supper at the table and put the cell phones away.
Good for you.
Things like that. But
I'd ride my bicycle from sunup to sundown pretty much when I was a kid, In the
we got
summertime.
we ate dirt. We played. We got sunshine. We didn't get sick like these kids now. They eat a loaf of bread and or peanut. They got an allergy or something. What?
Well, we
These
did.
kids,
Come on, we got chicken pox, but heck, it was nothing, right?
Yeah, right.
Chicken pox was nothing, and now
Chicken
it's like,
pox is
oh, it's a
easy.
big deal. Now they even have a different name for it,
Well, now they say it's developed in adults as shingles. And my wife had
Yeah,
that one time.
shingles.
She said it was like somebody poured hot grease on her back.
Didn't
So
they call
I
it
could-
rubella at one point? I mean,
They'll
make
can
up
they make
some
up their
funny
mind
name
what they're
for
going to
it.
call this thing? It's the same thing.
Well, see, my mom works at a blood bank, and she's a secretary for the corporate office, and they deal with the CDC all the time. And years ago, when they had the bird flu, we had one of her neighbors got it, and he almost died, and they paid him well for his blood. Well, they took their blood and they took it to Atlanta and supposedly made a vaccine for it, but they didn't give him any.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They took his blood and paid him a little for his blood, but they
Oh,
didn't
man.
bother to give him any vaccine for it. So,
Well,
so
why would they vaccinate him for it? He already has it.
Right.
well, exactly. But the idea was they said they were gonna vaccinate him so he couldn't give his family the flu or whatever.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That
You
just
don't know.
doesn't
That's
sound right.
crazy. That's crazy. See, what they have to do is they have to give you the flu so that your body will build up the antibodies to fight it off. Just wait. Take the risk and wait, okay? It's going to be no different.
I agree.
Well, it's like these people that say they don't want to vaccinate their kids in school. And you get the kids that are all vaccinated. Well, the vaccinated kids are the ones that are getting sick. So you're going to tell me my unvaccinated child is making your child sick, or is it the other way around? Your vaccinated child is getting sick and trying to give it to my kid. And and of course I don't have kids, but I can see the point.
Yeah.
What happened to all the parents when they found out somebody had chicken pox? They took their kids over there so they could get it over with.
Oh God, yes.
They kept
We're
them out of
7 years
school. They kept them isolated. They played games. They had fun. I mean, it was no real punishment. There was no real symptoms. It was just a day off from school because you had red spots on you.
And you were doused
fever.
with calamine lotion. Had that pink stuff all over you. We were 7 and my brother was 5, and we had a stagecoach kid. We had a real live stagecoach that was taken into the house and assembled into a bed. Now I think back on it, I wonder how many people actually died in that stagecoach. But anyway, we had friends
Jeez.
over, and we all had to pick chicken pox. We'd all play, like you said, play games, eat
Yep.
soup, and well,
Yeah.
you know, like the week we'd be out of school with the chicken pox and all that calamine lotion. But after a while, we got over it. And that was that. But now they want to quarantine somebody for one little bump.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And
I
of course,
always
you've
thought it
gotta
was a good thing to.
you got to get vaccines for everything too. You know.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just thought it was a good thing to build up your immune system.
want to hear something
Uh,
cool?
Yeah,
Heck
go
yeah.
ahead.
A New York PD officer was busted Tuesday for trafficking heroin.
Can you imagine?
I guess this woman, Officer Yesenia Jimenez, allegedly conspired with another person to distribute 100 grams or more of heroin, according to a new Manhattan federal court complaint. She
Oh,
came
nice
back
job,
from
police
Massachusetts. They'd found 50 grand stashed in her car. Oh, yeah. While the agent shined a flashlight in the woman's car, discovered a bundle of cash along with her NYPD service weapon in her purse. The bundle turned out to be $25,000. The agent then found another in a plastic grocery bag in her trunk, and according to court documents, that contained another $25,000.
What was her bail set at?
$75,000 bond.
And she probably used that money to pay it off.
Well, it said that her old apartment was being used as a stash house.
Wow. Nice job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Are you
released on
serious?
$75,000 bond. So that's what, $7,500 cash, right? 10%?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was nothing.
I'd like to be the bondsman on that one. Yep.
Well,
I'll take the money.
United has had a heck of a week. I heard the story the other day where the person was they jammed a Boston Terrier in an overhead compartment and killed it. And then today, I heard this morning on news while I was getting my car serviced and getting the oil changed, that they flew a dog from it's supposed to go from Denver to Kansas City, I think it was. They flew that dog to Japan, and the dog that was supposed to go to Japan went to Kansas City, and it
Yeah.
cost them $90,000 for both dogs to fly both ways to return them. So there's
$90,000.
$180,000 for two dogs.
What happened with that? Did you hear about that dog that got stuffed in the overhead compartment and died?
That's the one I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's-
about.
Yeah.
Killed that dog, the Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
Could you
Now,
imagine how those
right
kids
mind
felt?
Does that? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Could you imagine that? Mommy, I'm gonna get the dog. Mom, the
Yeah,
dog's
yeah.
not moving.
You're gonna get the dog, all right.
Now, I let Chihuahua likes to sit in my jacket and ride alone, and she stays right on my left breast, right near my heart. She don't move. She stays put. She knows where she's supposed to stay. And I'll be darned if that the flight attendant would have gotten my dog up there.
Yeah, no, the one you're talking about
Yeah.
was United. They diverted a flight after a dog was mistakenly placed on the plane.
Yeah.
They said they
Wow.
wanted the bag to go to New York and the other bag to go to L.A. Ticket said that's impossible. Ticket agent said that's impossible. I said, isn't that United
Oh.
Airlines? No.
They diverted the plane over
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I love animals, don't get me wrong, but they couldn't wait for the plane to land and then just turn it around. You know what I mean?
A flight from Newark to St. Louis was diverted Thursday after the airline realized that a dog was mistakenly loaded onto the plane. The dog was dropped off in Akron, Ohio, and was later safely delivered to its owner. But it's unclear where the reunion took place.
But they messing up big time. Three incidents in a week. And then
Yep.
when you hear when
All
somebody
United.
gets on a plane and freaks out, and it's like a scene in the airplane where they line up to slap the woman and then get her back in line.
Yeah, a
I
10-year-old German Shepherd named Ergo was flown to Japan instead of its
Yeah.
intended destination to Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah. I
That's
went to
the
pick
one.
him up. A beautiful Great Dane was waiting for her instead. I sent the two dogs to the wrong destination.
She said she went over to the kennel and called his name, and he didn't come out. And she looked inside, and there was a big old Great Dane. She said, "That's not my dog." We're heartbroken for
It's a
4
beautiful
days.
dog, but
Yeah, pretty dog.
I just
They showed
I
the
just feel
kids down there this morning. The little dog girl. I want to walk him. After 4 days. Yeah, I guess so. You want to grab his neck and hang on to him.
right. I just feel
Yeah.
bad for those people and their dog did die though. That's just
Well,
absolutely horrible. I would feel bad for those kids.
yeah.
Well, the people with this German Shepherd, they were moving from the west coast to Kansas, and they didn't need this as part of their move, but it is what it is.
And that's
Right.
the thing. I mean, some people they'll have pets and they love their pets like their family, and other ones they'll
Yes.
have pets and they don't even realize they have pets. It's
Well,
crazy.
look at your cat, for instance. You had on the webcam last week.
That's my boy.
That's your boy,
That's
and
right.
my baby girl, my Chihuahua, is my baby girl because I don't have kids, and you
Right.
get attached to them. And I had one dog, but she lived 16 years and 10 months and died on our anniversary. It'll be 2 years this July. She absolutely waited until that day. I feel like she waited until that day to tell me that she wanted to go when she died in my arms. And you get so attached you don't want to let them go, but you have to let them go.
Right. No, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And it is heartbreaking. And I don't care if it's a cat, a dog, a squirrel, a mouse, whatever you got. If you're attached to it, you are going to mourn that pet, and then you'll say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to get another one," but you wind up going and get one from the shelter.
We had pets when, through my childhood and early adult years and stuff like that. And then when I got older, we had 15 cats at one point, okay? And I'll tell you,
Wow.
each one of those cats, when they passed, it was painful. One of them lived to be 21, I mean, it's like losing a family member, even if there's 15 of them, I got my boy here now, and my sister's got her puppy, but they're pretty much part of the family. I spoil my cat.
And you can't tell me that they don't get along and love each other, because
They do.
we had two cats and a dog. And of course, the smallest cat, she kept them all in line. But when we got this Chihuahua, and she don't bark and she don't make a noise unless she's hurt or you roll over on her.
Yeah.
She came from a lady that had she had 27 dogs, 87 cats, 10 birds, and a couple of other animals.
Mhm.
She passed out in her home for 2 days. They found her laying unconscious in the kitchen. They took all her pets away. She wanted one pet. They said, "Okay, we'll allow you one." She wanted that Chihuahua back. Well, of course, we already had her, so she couldn't have her back. But you realize if you pass out or you die in a room of cats, they will consume you.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah.
They're still animals, man.
Yes,
Well, a
they
dog will lay there beside you and die, but a cat will say, "The heck with this! I'm still going to feast."
Yeah, see, my cat and my sister's dog will sit there beside each other, and the dog will taunt the cat, and the cat will just kind of sit there and try to blow him off. One day he got him. one day the kitten got him with the hooks, and he learned. But it only lasted a couple of days. He's back at it again. But they're both young. I mean, they're almost a year old. Almost a year.
You notice something, Papa. You can tell this. You sit back and you observe. A dog is dependent on its human. A cat,
Right.
if you want to pet me, you come to me. I ain't coming to you.
Not really.
It's got an independent about them, and then they know it, and they display that real affectionately.
You have to know how to play cats. It's how you talk to them, okay?
Yeah.
You look at them, you make a motion, and then you turn away and you look away, and you wait, and pay no attention to them. And within a few minutes, they're on your lap. You have to
My
ignore them.
sister-in-law has one that's a big old baby. He thinks that he's a part Himalayan and real furry, and he jumps up in her lap and he finds him a snuggle spot and he curls around, and that's where he parks his butt, and he's gonna stay there, and that's his mama.
There you go.
And he's gonna move, and if somebody tries to move him, he's got one bad eye. Somebody tries to move him, he'll reach out and want to pop you a little bit. You leave my mama alone. So yeah, they got an attitude.
Oh yeah. So, Papa, did you see how that bridge collapsed in Florida?
Yes, it was a brand new construction, and they didn't have the center support under it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the guy that was doing that, he had some political connections. The thing is, they should have known better. When they put that in place, they should have had the center structure up and set it on top of it. And actually, it was loose. It wasn't adjusted right. 7 people died underneath that thing.
I think it's up to 16, bud.
Is it up to 16 now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I heard them say this morning there was one woman that begged them to let her search for her daughter, and she knew that it collapsed on her daughter's litters, found her daughter's body. And that's wanting to really close some closure.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people running from both sides trying to help them out and everything, and it was just, half crushed cars.
There was a call out. There was a call out for doctors or paramedics or anything like that, and they came out shortly after and said, if you're on your way there, don't even go. Don't even bother. There's not going to be any emergency situation to go to. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's only been there for, I think they said like 5 days before it collapsed or something like that.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't have been there that long. They should have had that sort of support up there first. But hey, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
Yeah, but still, it's just so sad.
All this stuff going on in Florida.
I know.
And it's all right around Broward County, Broward-Dade. Broward County is Fort Lauderdale, Dade is Miami. I mean, they're right next to each other. And Palm Beach is the next one up. It's all 3 of them right in a row.
Wow.
Must be something in the water.
It's the Florida.
Yeah, I'd say.
Swamp water.
Yeah, swamp water. Pardon the pun, right?
Did you hear here in Tennessee?
Swamp
the,
water imported from D.C.?
Tennessee legislature will not condemn neo-Nazis. Well, they're not welcome here in Memphis. Those you take your butt somewhere else.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
But we got enough problems with them taking down Confederate statues in the middle of the night. And
really just say, where's your sense of adventure? Really?
we got enough adventure of skipping potholes that you could drive a VW wagon in and bury it. I mean, goodness gracious, all the cold weather has popped the concrete and asphalt, and Papa, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all got a foot, 2 feet of snow Wednesday, and you sent me pictures.
Just over a foot. And
pretty.
the landlord came in. He plowed out on top of the lawn, which is good. Okay, he did the grass, all that stuff right up to the garage. You know, he did the front out by the street. He did behind the cars. Okay, and pushed it up next to the pole and the fence. I'm like, this is cool. We dug out my sister's car and the neighbor's car. Dug out my truck, got the snow off it. I drove right out through it. I plowed out our side. And, okay, bring them back in. Had it all done before the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday morning. You
Wednesday
sent me
morning.
pictures. You sent me 2 pictures, and it was you could see it was at least a foot of it on your truck.
Oh yeah, it buried it pretty good, and but yeah, I cleaned it off, pushed it. I've got one of these things. It's a like a squeegee. Got a rubber squeegee, and then on the opposite side of the squeegee is a brush, and it's on a swivel on the end, you know, and a telescopic handle with the scraper at the other end, the opposite end. And I can extend this thing out so it's like pretty near 6 feet long. And I hold it by the scraper and push the brush of it or the squeegee, depending on what I want to use, and I'll push the snow right off the other end. Keep pushing it, you know, and then clean up what little bits are left behind. But yeah, we got a lot of snow. We got pretty near a foot. It was a foot anyway, because I know it was halfway up my tires.
Well, is it still the what they call a nor'easter, and is it still going on, or is it over now?
Oh no, that's over. That's over. As a matter of fact, we've got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of some pretty good weather. Tuesday, it's going to snow again. At Tuesday into Wednesday, and they're talking maybe another foot.
Oh man,
So
I'm not interested in a foot.
At least you got snow down here. We for the month of February, we got 17 or 18 inches of rain and broke the record. And it rained again today, and the ground's so saturated, and the rivers are overflowing. The Mississippi River is coming up over its banks, and they had to shut down Front Street, and it's trying to reach up that bridge at Bill Street, and it comes up at least about 20 feet. So downtown Memphis is getting flooded quite a bit. And those people that live out down at Harbor Island, they're panicking because this is about to reach their houses, and they got those 2 and 3 story expensive $200,000-$300,000 houses, and you get a little water in there, goodbye.
yeah,
Well, can't they open a little bit more of the spillway?
What are you gonna open? I mean, you got the river overflowing into Arkansas and Mississippi and Tennessee, so really don't have anywhere for it to go.
Okay. I seen some, because where I'm at in Ohio, we haven't gotten very much snow the last couple of days. It hasn't been too bad. Just really cold,
Well,
in the 20s is cold to me.
They say that y'all getting the snow and it melting is what's causing the rivers to overflow down here, plus the fact that we're getting rain. So
right.
But
yeah.
and then out in California, you got the drought and fires and the earthquakes and then all these other places. So I mean, there's a disaster happening all over the United States. Just which one's going to get reported?
Yeah,
Right.
which
I hear
one's
ya.
going to hit you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
none of
You can't run from it.
It's pretty much how it
And-
goes.
and-
Hey, listen, we're
Yeah,
up
push-
against our second break here,
All right.
so let's go ahead and we'll pull this off and we'll pick it up from there. Anyway, you're listening to Show Us Don't Tell Us on the LNM Radio Network. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Let me assure you that our priority will remain to ensure stability and security.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, security
for Canadians.
Galactic Empire!
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
Attention L&M Radio Network listeners. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of the L&M Radio Network by calling 605-562-4203? No smartphone app or internet needed. Saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call 605-562-4203 to listen to the L&M Radio Network on any phone, anytime, anywhere.
Brothers at Arms is not about being militant, though there is a time and place where that is necessary. Brothers at Arms is not about arguing, though there are times where things may get heated. Brothers at Arms is not about who is right or wrong. There are many sides to each issue. Brothers at Arms is about exploring those sides, about dealing with the issues facing us today, about coming together and, through opposing views, understanding the deeper truths that are in the middle. Join Ira Robinson and Joe Long each Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on LateNightInTheMidlands.com as these Brothers at Arms discuss what you need to know. Brothers at Arms, it's about time. Have you been looking for answers? Have you been seeking the truth but can't seem to find it? Late Night in the Midlands has the answers for you. Whether you are interested in the paranormal, aliens and UFOs, alternative health information, or just a little hope and inspiration, we have a show for you. Late Night in the Midlands, The Secret Teachings, Open Eyes, Red Pill Reality Show, Brothers at Arms, and many more shows. All here on the L&M Network for you to listen to at any time that you want. Everything is free to listen to, and though it is not required, we are listener supported, and all donations are deeply appreciated. You will not find shows like these in the mainstream media. Go to LateNightInTheMidlands.com to listen. The L&M Network, where the truth has no fear.
This is TJ Sanfilippo, host of Navigating the River Styx. Join us each and every Thursday night at midnight here on Late Night in the Midlands Radio Network. Together, we will traverse the forbidden waters of the paranormal, the occult, our hidden history, conspiracies, and things that dwell in the darkness and the deep. Come, grab a seat by the fire away from the night that is closing in. I have tales to tell you. When the clock strikes 12, I invite you to join us here on Late Night in the Midlands Radio Network. Until then, stay safe.
The L&M Radio Network and Late Night in the Midlands depends on you, the listener. Without you, there would be no us. So help us continue to bring you the best guests with the best information and subscribe today. Information on becoming an L&M subscriber can be found at the top of LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Just click the About Subscriptions tab and become part of the family while helping the truth stay alive. And while you're at it, maybe subscriptions aren't for you. A one-time donation helps as well. Click that donate button on the right side of LateNightInTheMidlands.com and help us help you.
Goodness, I'm hearing my ad music. And What am I doing? I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Goodness. I'm hearing my ad music here, and I'm thinking, what's out there, you know? And wow, I got to stop that. Unreal. Anyway, music by Ben Sound at bensound.com. This is LNMRadioNetwork.com. Late night in the Midlands. 101.7 WCET FM, Columbia Talk. And of course, I'm Papa Bear. I'm back with you here, and we've got J-Dub, and along with, oh goodness, Wade.
Good morning.
The other Wade, because the other Wade is in Canada. My brother Wade.
Your brother? Your brother from another mother?
Yeah, my brother from another mother, my
There
Canadian
you go.
brother.
There you go.
And all that bunch.
Unreal. Anyway, so we're back, and we've got the nor'easter coming up here again. Another one coming up. I'm not sure what it's going to do down there in the lower part of New England. I'm in Maine, so you know. Peter's up there. He didn't do as bad as we did. He didn't get quite as much, as far as I know. I haven't heard much. I haven't been up that way. Peter's about 2.5 hours from me, so it's quite a ride.
Well, last time I checked, Maine was a big state.
Oh, it's a very big state. Let's put it this way. The Maine Turnpike, the end of it is mile 495.
That's longer than Mississippi and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you that's a beautiful place to ride.
And where I live, you'd get off exit 72. So I'm down toward the lower part of the state, and actually more toward New Hampshire. Because,
Is that down in there, Bangor?
No, Bangor is farther up. As a matter of fact, Bangor is a little over 100 miles in, I think.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You get pretty good. You get pretty good riding weather around there. Or what's the good months for that?
Then that's something else. With motorcycle, you mean? Biking?
Yeah.
The riding is pretty good. Okay, you'll get some hot days. But I can tell you that where I used to live, there was a stretch of road about 1/10 of a mile long where the trees grow up on both sides of the road. And the sun doesn't get in there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when you ride through on your bike, it's a blast of cool air right in that one spot. And you'll hit those in different spots on the road up here because you've got a lot of hills, you know, mountains and stuff, and hills,
right,
and curves in the road, and a lot of trees. So you'll hit some pretty shady spots, and it's cool, very cool for riding. And
nice.
I got 3 bikes. But
you got 3 now? I thought you only had 2.
Well, no, I've got a 40-year-old Honda.
Okay.
41. It's a 77 Honda Goldwing. It's a GL 1000. And that one needs to be rehabbed, actually. It's, you know, it's still the ignition was all converted, so it's all electronic now. There's no more points in it. And that's pretty good.
Okay.
But it's been sitting a while, you know. It needs to be buffed out, cleaned up. It needs to be gone through. And I've got a 1500 Kawasaki, or the Vulcan 88, is what they call it, 88 cubic inch. The 1500, that one is 93.
Okay.
So that's an older bike too, and that's got probably, I don't know, 30,000 miles on it. I got that one.
Nice.
Yeah. And I have a 2008 Vulcan 900. It's the oh man, Yeah, it's the nice one. It's all decked out. It's got the saddlebags and the footboards and all that stuff, you know. Heel toe shifter, windshield. It's decked out pretty nice. That one there has just over 2,200 miles. 2,200 miles, not 1,000, 100.
All right.
2,000 miles. It doesn't have enough miles on it yet for its oil change.
Okay.
The brake-in oil has been changed, but the regular oil hasn't been in there long enough. Got another 2,000 miles to go, something like that.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a
like brand new.
Right. I got a 2007 Kawasaki Vulcan 900.
Oh, like the one I got.
Yeah.
It's the classic, right?
Mine's the let me think, the custom.
Custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine's a classic.
Okay.
So it's got the.
I love it.
It's got the studs around the seat, you know.
No, it doesn't. No,
Yeah,
I've got a different. Well, I bought mine used, so it's got a different seat, but it's got the power band, the exhaust, you know, stuff like that. It's got everything that I wanted on it. That's why I went for it. The neons, you know, all the stuff that I like, nice and bright and whatnot.
Right. What I can do is I can put a picture in Skype. Show you what mine looks like. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But mine's what, a year newer than yours? 2008, right?
Yep.
So, shoot, the last bike I had was a Yamaha 125 when I was 18 years old in high school. So it's been a while. Those were definitely bikes. So that two-stroke, they're riding along that riverbed down there in Mississippi, and all of a sudden I go flying over the handlebars, look back in the front end, stuck in the mud. thrown me like a bull or something. So what the heck did I hit?
There's really nobody in chat anyway except Surf. But anyway, yeah, that's a picture of it.
We had those 3-wheelers back then. Remember how dangerous those were? And they thought they were bad, but then you got these idiots popping wheelies on 4-wheelers and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm telling you, it's different. But now I'm scared to ride a bike around here because people are hitting folks left and right. Yeah. And you got these morons on I-240 and the loop and I-40 going to Nashville. They're zipping in and out of traffic like 80, 90 miles an hour and flying by you and scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And you just know somebody's gonna open a door or switch lanes or something, and they're gonna go flying. And they're gonna be a meat sandwich on that asphalt.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. You got to be careful. You can't be too crazy. That's for sure.
All right.
Only takes a couple seconds.
Yeah, your bike is a lot like mine, but you don't. Mine has a few more things than yours has.
I just like the videos on YouTube of people pulling in front of a motorcycle and it don't take but a split second and they're flying off of it and going down the road tumbling or I saw one the other night where the guy hit a car and landed on the hood like he was surfing on the top of the hood.
Yeah.
But what's the chances of that?
Yep.
I don't even want to play that game.
That's a nice bike you got there. Did you see the picture of mine?
I'm looking at. I don't see it on there.
No, it's in in Skype, the Skype chat.
Yeah,
we're doing screen sharing, which is probably why you don't see it, right?
Oh.
I might have to send it to you on the phone.
All right.
Oh, silver. Yeah. Silver and black. That's pretty nice.
Silver and black.
One I see is silver and black.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's white. white and gold.
Yeah, I get it. It looks silver to me, but that's pretty good. That's a nice looking bike.
Yeah, it's brand new. I mean,
I'd be scared to ask how much something like that costs. It's more than I could probably afford.
Oh, that one there? I'm letting that go for $55. Which isn't too bad. I mean, a new one that costs you like $18.
Yeah, I got a '96 Lincoln that's worth about $2,000 or $3,000. I doubt I could buy a bike.
Right.
And of course, with my half a left foot, I probably couldn't shift anymore unless it's shift on the left. You know what I'm talking about.
That's the thing. See, the left foot is where the shift is, all right? But I have a heel toe shifter. So you don't have to pull up with your toe.
Right.
To shift into second, to upshift, you don't have to pull up. You can kick it down with your heel.
My wife then already told me, she said the best you'll do is get a Vespa.
Right.
So if that's what it takes, I guess I have to invest in a Vespa or something. But
there you go.
I laugh when I see somebody on those things riding around at 30 or 40 miles an hour, acting like they're on a motorcycle, and they want to ride with the motorcycle groups.
Yeah. But, see, I don't ride too much. And I figure, what's the sense of having a new bike if I don't ride too much? Right. I've got the older one. That's plenty. I mean, that's all I need.
That's a nice bike. That is a really nice bike.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to let that one go. That one, that had to be... The guy that bought that, he must have dumped 17 grand into that bike. Between 15 and 17 grand. I mean, it's decked right out. There isn't much that wasn't on it,
Yeah.
And, I mean, the bike is awesome. I put on... Oh, what did I put on it? 400 miles last summer. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, I put on 400 miles last summer. That was it.
Not bad.
When I bought
Have you
it,
been riding the other ones?
No, I just didn't have time for it.
I get it.
And I'm like, well, I don't have time for it. What's the sense of having it? I mean, hell, by the time I'm done, I'll die. The thing will be 30 years old and it'll have, 3,000 miles on it.
Right.
Somebody else enjoy it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a new bike. Somebody else can enjoy it. I've got another one, I mean, and I'd rather sell a new bike than the older one because, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm trying to find a bracket for the throttle for the older one. And the seat is all duct taped. I got to change the seat. And then the windshield on it, I've got to take it off and polish it. So, it needs some help. It's an older bike. But, I don't mind doing it,
Right.
And actually,
of course.
Come on. I got no pride. I don't care.
No, but I know one thing. You learn early when you're riding bikes, Papa, is to definitely put that windshield on that helmet because you don't want those bugs hitting you in the summertime in the face at 30, 40 miles an hour. That hurts.
I don't worry about that. Never worried about that.
Well, down south, you have that problem. You get those locusts and all that. They'll slap you in the face.
Outside the other Goldwing, and the other two bikes I got, I mean, the ones I have now, they all have windshields. Before this, I never had a windshield. But, helmet?
I don't have
helmet law in Maine. I don't wear a helmet. There's no helmet law in Maine. Why? Why bother? I can't see. It restricts my vision.
Right.
We can tell Papa is a real biker because he smiles and he's bugging his teeth.
And I'll tell you, there's something to be said for gut feelings too, because I was on my bike and I saw somebody in a minivan and I thought they're gonna pull out in front of me, and sure as hell they did. They pulled right out in front of me, and I knew it was gonna happen, so I expected it. I hollered at him. I said, "Hey, this is not a friggin' bicycle, you know."
Right.
Oh
The funniest thing I ever heard was this guy came along and wanted to buy a car for my brother, and my brother said, "Well, I thought you liked bikes. Why did you switch to cars?" He said, "Well, I was riding along down the highway one day and I saw a beer can in the road. I said, I'm just gonna kick that beer can." He said, "I hit that beer can with my foot and it ripped me off that motorcycle and tore up." Broke my leg and skinned an arm and all. He said, "I decided right then I was through with bikes." So don't ever hit a stationary object like a beer can, especially if it's full, because it'll rip you right off that seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But what's that old thing about a stationary object wants to stay that way?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Laws
and I'll
of
tell
physics.
you better have respect for that bike too, because just when you start to lose respect for it, it's gonna slap you on your face and wake you up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow.
But that bike there, it's believe it or not, you've got a 900, right?
Yeah.
The 800 is a little bit smaller than the 9. And my brother's got an 800. He absolutely loves it. You know, it fits him right. He didn't like mine because it was too big. He said it was too big and it was bulky and heavy. You know, and I'm like, okay. But the 800,
my son's got
the 800 looks just like it.
Yeah, my son's got the 500.
Yeah.
He loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
I remember my brother traded a car for a bike one time when we lived down in Mississippi, in a little town, and he got I think it was a Kawasaki 900 or something. Anyway, they had built it to run out here at the Memphis Motorsports Park, and it would run 9 seconds flat. And so he told me, he said, "Hey, won't you ride it one night?" So I picked the night. I went out there, and it was pitch black. At 15 miles an hour, I could barely see 3 feet in front of me. I said, I come back and park that thing. I said, "You can't even see what's in front of you. That's scary." Because you outrun the headlight, you know, you never know what's going to be out there on that country road. You might hit a cow, you might hit a car, you never know.
Exactly. You know, and that stopped me from riding bike for a while because I hit 2 deer one summer. And I'm like, with my car. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, if I'm out at night on the bike and all of a sudden a deer comes out in front of me, I'm toast, you know. So it slowed me down for a bit, and then of course I got this habit of carrying coffee with me, which is really inconvenient on a bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a cup holder or something. But anyway.
As like tonight, we were going to Target, and we the road beside Shelby Farms out here, and it's off limits hunting and stuff like that. And my wife was like, "Oh, look at the pretty deer! There's a bunch of deer." I'm like, "Yeah, as long as they stay on that side of the fence and don't run out in front of you, that's fine." There must be 20, 30, 40 deer out there. But they know you can't hunt on that land, so they just bounce around, and they got buffalo out there, and they run with the buffalo.
I've only hit 3 deer.
Only?
And two of them were within 2 weeks of each other, and the third one was the previous winter. So I had a string of deer all within 6 months, okay? So it kind of shied me away from the bike for a little bit.
I don't blame you on that.
I don't blame
you at all.
Well, I worked with a guy that hit a deer, and he messed his bike up, he messed himself up, but he bought another bike and got right back on it again. He didn't want to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get thrown off the horse, you jump back on, right? Same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Same thing. You didn't want to get too. You didn't want to get a fear of riding that bike because of what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. My biggest thing is with my front tire. It's really, and don't get me wrong, I like the look of it, but my front tire is very small. It's the 80/90 by 21, so it's pretty small.
Yeah.
And it likes to grab everything. I mean, you got to pay attention.
Well, a 21-inch tire is tall.
It's tall, but it's very narrow.
Right. Well, by comparison, it's a small tire because of the size of the rim.
Right.
Kind of like what they're doing with the low-profile tires nowadays. It's like the 20-inch tires on trucks. It's like 20. Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Right.
But it's like everything else. You had a deer or a cow, you gonna go flying, and it's gonna still stand there. And that's just like that movie Tommy Boy, where you hit the deer, put it in the car, and then it comes alive and tears the car up.
Well, if you see it and hit it right, you can wind up on his back, but he ain't gonna like it.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
so how do you like that field the toe shifter? Do you like that? I've never tried it.
I do. It's one of those things you have to get used to it, right? Because you know what it's like when you take off from a stop sign and you go to put your foot on that peg, on that footboard. What happens when you put your foot on the footboard and your foot is in the wrong place is you wind up kicking that son of a gun into neutral.
Oh, yeah.
So you're halfway through your turn, you've kicked it into neutral because you put your foot down on this board, okay? No.
Right.
Bad idea. What I've learned is when you get out into the street, worry about putting your foot down on that board after you get straightened out. And you're about ready to shift gears. Because you know where your foot is when you're going to shift gears. You can hold your foot up that long, So that's what I do. Yeah, I've kicked it in neutral a few times, and that's when I learned, keep your foot up until you're straight and you're ready to hit the next gear. And then you can heel it or toe it, whatever you want to do. But at least you know where it is.
Okay. So yours is
riding on that thing is it's like riding in a living room chair. I mean, once you get moving on it, you get your feet in place, your arms in place, and you're set, and it's like, it's comfortable. It's just, I mean, you could almost ride like that all day.
Right. Mine's the same way. It's like riding a chair in the living room down the road,
Mm-hmm.
And I got a really good sized tank. It's a 5.3 gallon tank, so
that's what
I can ride all day. Yeah. And it's not a real heavy bike either, so I can whip it around. It's not. I think it's under 600 pounds dry.
Yeah, mine's a little heavier than yours because I got all the goodies on it.
Right. But with that power band and everything, it's got all the power I need and then some.
Oh yeah, it's a nice bike. I really like it. I do. But like I say, I've got an older one. I don't ride it too much, and I don't have a need for it now. It's just storage. So.
Right.
But I've got so much stuff.
Show we talking about cars, motorcycles. You never know what we'll talk about on this show. It just goes all over the place like a train going off the tracks. But at the end of the ride, you still get to the depot on time.
Yeah, and I've got so much stuff. I mean, I've got a riding lawnmower and sitting on a trailer, and I don't own my own property to cut grass. You know what I mean? It's sitting there. It's a nice Husqvarna with a double bagger.
Right.
And speaking of trains, your family's the Harrimans are part of the railroad system.
Yeah, that was pre-World War II. But yeah, the name was synonymous with some of the other ones out there in Germany. Well,
I know Harrimans were in the Illinois Central twice.
Yeah.
Because they ran through my neck of the woods.
Yeah, what
That's
happened
great.
was, see, there was, I think there might have been a rivalry going on there because years ago there's well, actually there still is a town out in South Dakota called Bixby, South Dakota, and it's a ghost town. And the reason why it's a ghost town is because the railroad didn't go through. Okay.
Okay.
But then you have this big metropolis down in Oklahoma called Bixby, right? Big city. Big place. Well, my last name is Bixby. My grandmother's maiden name was Harriman. You know, so I think there might have been some, I don't know, something going on there. But it also mixed in with the Brown family. If you look up Brown Brothers Harriman, you'll see how they're linked together. They're an investment company. But my grandfather had changed his name to Brown before changing it back to Bixby. So my father's name was Arthur Aubrey Brown when he was born. And then when the name got changed back, it got turned to Arthur Brown Bixby. So Brown is there. Harriman's there on my grandmother's side. It's all there. You know, all the keys are there. I even got a picture of a headstone up here in Randolph, Maine, that shows where one of them in the Cheney family was married to Flora Harriman. So that's how you get the Harriman. That's how you get the Cheney connection with Dick Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
His family's from Maine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the family plot is up here in Randolph, Maine, which is right outside of Gardner. It's north of Portland, actually. Yeah, the family plot's there. Bixby family plot's there, and oh yeah, it's yeah. You never know. A little cemetery off in the middle of nowhere up here in Maine, right?
But back in the old days, or when the railroad ran through a town, it made or broke the town.
That's
and
right.
Of course,
That's right.
Look at now, you got highways going all over the place.
Yeah. And that's what happened. That town now is nothing but old foundations. There's no town there. And my father was going to put a monument there years ago. It was actually, he was going to get together with, remember Bill Bixby, the actor?
Yeah, very incredible.
Yeah, the two of them were going to get together and erect a monument, but they both passed right around the same time. It was in the 80s, early 80s. So. Yeah. So it didn't happen. It didn't quite happen. But my parents knew some people up there in Deadwood, South Dakota. And they actually owned part of a gold mine. And
that'd be cool.
They have cool names like Tombstone, Deadstone, all these different places, all these ghost towns, and I want to move out west and go adventure, go to different places and stuff. It's fascinating.
Right. This guy used to run the stage from Deadwood into Sturgis. And I guess what it was a modified stagecoach. It was pretty hot. Well, he wound up selling out and moving out to Yakima, Washington. He passed away, and I don't even know what's left now. You know, time goes along, people get old, and they pass away, you know.
Right.
Well, it'll
still be a wild job.
Speaking of that, people, we see a few of them are still around, and most of the actors and film stars and the people we grew up with are just dropping like flies.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, Burt Reynolds is still around, and Clint Eastwood, and some of those people, and Kirk Douglas. I mean, 100 and something years old.
Yeah.
Phew, I could imagine that.
I can't.
Well, Georgia Burns lived to be what, 101, 102?
I'll be
So-
60 here in a couple of months, you know. And I thought 60 was plenty. But my father died at 71, and I thought he was kind of young. My mom passed at 87. She did good. She did good.
That's really good, actually.
So I think
Good.
if you make it to your early 80s, you did good. Late 70s, early
I
80s,
agree.
you've done good. You know.
I agree.
So,
I
so
agree.
it's early for me. I'm retired though. You know, I'm done. The workforce is over. Although I do take donations with my PayPal. Oh, and we're going to provide I am going to provide a replay of this show, if you really want to hear it again, on my YouTube channel, which is What's Out There. The name of the channel is called What's Out There. And
With our
you'll
handsome
see-
voices.
You'll see all the replays of my daytime shows. And of course, whatever these shows I do here, I'll provide these on that also. And some of our older shows that came in before Mike Bejas started programming, some of those shows are in there too. And the one where I was approached by the law enforcement officers, 4 cars, headlights at me, that one is on that page.
I never will forget that night you were sitting behind the Dunkin' Donuts, and they showed up in the middle of the show, and we were laughing our butts off. Me and Skills and a bunch of us, we were laughing. Papa Bear's like, "Can I help you?"
That's when we had Carol Keene and Renee Powers. 2 awesome women, dynamite women. And yeah, we're all on the show, and we showed up. Hey, I'm doing a live show. We're talking about this. Would you like to join us or listen in or something? No.
It was
And you know what?
example.
I didn't even know it at the time, but I know that guy. I know that cop because I saw him after that at the post office, and that's when he reminded me of who he was. I'm like, oh, okay. You staying out of trouble? That's of course I am. He says, you're not doing heroin or anything, are you? Let's get the hell out of here with that heroin stuff. Come on, just cut it out. I don't have time for that. You know, I educate myself. I'm researching. I'm constantly educating myself daily, all the time. I don't have time for that. No. I'm not doing heroin. Okay.
What the heck would what would make sense?
If I remember correctly, didn't you go get cigarettes after the show?
Huh?
Didn't you drive over and get some cigarettes after the show?
Oh, I drove home. I drove back to the parking lot where I was staying. And
Well, see, your biggest problem was you behind Dunkin' Donuts. That's where the cops hang out anyway.
well, I mean, there was nobody else back there. And actually, I was sitting back there still doing the show before the show was over. Remember that cop went by again. It was a different cop, I think, because that one waved to me.
They were circling around, watching him the whole show for 2 or 3 hours. Jay, it was hilarious,
Yeah.
and Skills was busting off, busting jokes the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
But I did it.
Good for you.
You know? Hey. That's...
And got away. And then what was the other time you drove up to City Hall with no license plate, and they started hassling?
The same plate I had on the truck when I got approached behind Dunkin' Donuts. It was the same. Big letters across my gate says "not for hire," you know. And the plate I'd made up, it's expired inspection sticker. I pulled right in the parking lot. When you're in the parking lot, the parking spaces are between 2 buildings, and then there's another building in the front of you, okay? The building on the left is the county courthouse. The building on the right is the district courthouse. The one in front of you is the county sheriff's office. And I was there to see the sheriff.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah. Oh, I caught him out in the parking lot. He caught me in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, you're the sheriff? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, you're the guy I want to talk to. Oh, yeah, we had a nice little conversation at the back of my truck.
How did that go?
Well, it went very well.
Good.
It went awesome. As a matter of fact, I wound up getting in my truck and leaving. Nothing was ever said. Nothing. My sister was with me.
Good for you.
You know, I got pulled over. I had somebody else with me. I got pulled over across the street from the hospital down here. You know, it took about 10 minutes. It was all over. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. You too. And that was it. No license, no registration, no insurance.
That's the difference between Papa Bear and me and you, Jay. Papa Bear he's got a pair of tires on him. He can get away with this stuff. Me and you, we'd be getting beat over the head with a PR-24 and hauled off to the city jail.
Yeah, they would forget where they put the key if that was me, you know?
It's all a matter of enforcing your rights, okay? The only time you're going to talk is either to enforce a right or to confirm a right, okay? That's all.
Right.
That's it. Yeah,
They don't work with Barney Fife down south because they get a macho attitude.
I have Fifth Amendment rights, okay? If I give you something, can you use it to incriminate me? Yes?
Of course.
Okay. My Fifth Amendment right says I don't have to give you anything that might incriminate me, okay? I choose to give you nothing. That's just the way it is.
That makes sense.
It's like Jay said, down south, and you're in North Carolina, and I'm in Tennessee, and lived in Mississippi too. When you pin a star on somebody, they think they're really badass, and they gonna enforce the law. And it turns out that the majority of them were the people that broke the laws when they were growing up. And so they get this attitude that I'm better than you, and I got a gun on my side, and I can tell you what to do.
Okay.
And that's the way it is down here. Now up there, it might be totally different.
Let me ask you a question. You start citing law in front of a cop, and what's he going to ask you? Are you a lawyer?
License register. Yeah.
Are you a lawyer? Right? So the correct response would be no.
Don't say it.
Are you?
See, as soon as I said, "Are you?" he would say, "Get out of the vehicle, sir."
Where did you go to law school?
Yep.
Okay.
Your best thing down here is just hand them the license and registration and keep the mouth shut.
The first thing you have to know right offhand, okay? It's racketeering, okay? It's a conspiracy, all right? Because the cop works for the state, the judge works for the state, the prosecutor works for the state. They all work for the same people, okay? Thing is, you don't work for the state. And since you don't work for the federal government, you don't fall under their jurisdiction, you don't fall into their codes and regulations. It's got nothing to do with you. Only their employees, members of their what they call their society, okay? But their society is part of the corporation, which is the United States, okay? And that society is a political society. So you have to leave the political society. You know what that means? You can't vote. But why would you want to?
Right.
It's corporate. Got nothing to do with you.
Well, see, I fell under some different laws when I was a commercial truck driver.
Oh, that's completely different story.
Different. Yeah. And
so that's why.
Sitting in that seat behind that wheel, they viewed you, even if you sitting there parked in a truck stop, if you're sitting in that seat, they view you as on the job. And if
Of
you
course.
drinking alcohol, yeah, that's a big no. They can definitely take you to jail then, because you can release those air brakes, pop it in gear, and kill somebody.
Of course.
So they hold you to a higher standard, and that's why, and people don't realize it. When I was commercial driver, 2 or 3 accidents, and you lost your license forever, because they view you as knowing doggone good and well you got a 80,000-pound vehicle that can run over somebody and kill them in an instant. I had one lady tell me, "Say, you got 18 brakes on that thing, you can stop it." Lady, have you ever seen a train stop on a dime? When I got the
No.
load on here, there's no way I could stop this thing within a half a mile. You lock it up, you're gonna screech.
Right.
So you're held to a totally different standard. And like Papa said, then you're dealing with manifest and contracts, and you're bound to your company or whatever if you're independent contractor or whatever.
That's right.
But then you fall under a
If you
different
work for
category.
Walmart, right?
Right.
Right.
Or drive
Exactly.
JB Hunt, whatever.
See, it's a conspiracy. They all work for the same company. It's racketeering. Okay? It's extortion. They're getting money out of you, extorting money from you. Okay? See, there's only 2 reasons why a cop should pull you over. There's a warrant for your arrest, or there's been a disturbance of the peace. Okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, that's emergency procedure, and it's a felony to use that in a not an emergency. They know it.
Makes sense.
They know it. The thing is, they don't get approached about it. Okay? When you mention
Right.
it, if you mention it, the first thing they'll do when they go back to their car is turn those lights off. You betcha.
Okay. That makes sense.
There's something else that I found out when I was commercial driving. I had a driver tell me one time he had a load of cigarettes, and he went in the truck stop and he got him something to eat, and he was fixing to go out to his truck, and this man come in with a 3-piece suit and said, "Sit down and have a cup of coffee with me." He's like, "No, I gotta go." He said, "You might want to sit down." He said he showed his waistband. He had a gun, so the guy sat down. They talked for about an hour or 2. They talked about their kids and life in general and whatever, and said this guy come in and whistled and said, the guy said, "Okay, I'm gonna put some money on the table to pay for your coffee. Some of this money's for you. You wait 15 minutes before you go out to your truck and have a nice day." And he disappeared. He went back out to his truck, opened it back up, completely empty. They had unloaded that whole load of cigarettes and took off.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and then there's government contracts where you haul certain things. They tell you stay in a cab, do not get out of the cab for any reason. If you need to go to the bathroom, we will escort you to the bathroom and back, but then you're blindfolded.
Yeah.
And those caves up there in Joplin, Missouri, I'm here to tell you, I delivered to one that they do have underground bunkers and warehouses. They definitely have a system, and there ain't no telling how far it goes.
Right.
I didn't go but a couple of miles in it, but
See,
it was enough for me to get out of there.
A lot of this, you have to remember. Okay, first of all, is there criminal intent? Okay, you have to know that what you're doing is right. Okay,
Right.
you say this is a freedom, this is a right that I have. Okay, this is travel, this is the freedom of movement, this is liberty, the very definition of liberty. This is what the Constitution guarantees me. This is what we fight for overseas, liberty, right? The land of liberty, hello?
Right.
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, yeah? Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is liberty. What I'm doing is not wrong. Okay?
Makes sense.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. And when you see them and they say, "Hey, what you're doing is wrong," I say, "No, it's not wrong. These are my rights, and I'm claiming my rights." Please don't take them away. You're paid to protect my rights. And when you decide you're not going to protect my rights, well, you void the social compact. That means I'm no longer in your jurisdiction anyway. Now you're warring against me.
Papa Bear, you'll get this. You've seen, on the side of the car it says protect and serve, right?
Yeah.
In GTA 5 it says protect and survive.
And the thing is that the Supreme Court has already ruled that they have no duty to protect. Well, if they have no duty to protect, then you're not a citizen. You have no duty to call yourself a citizen, because with allegiance comes protection. No protection, no allegiance.
That makes sense.
No protection, no allegiance. Oops.
And if you played GTA 4, GTA 5, San Andreas, when the cops get after you, they don't let up. They out to shoot you down. They will not let up.
Excuse me. Goodness. First thing is, you're not being combative. You're going to be calm. Okay?
Right.
Are they going to take you in? Not a problem. You go ahead and do what you got to do, all right? But you're stealing my private property, okay? And also,
that's the way it feels.
But I also charge by the minute. Okay.
The illegal search and seizure thing is
so you go ahead and do what you think is right, what you feel you want to do, and we'll go from there. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Okay.
Hey, you got a tail like that. I want to look in your trunk. What right do you have to look in my trunk? I ain't got a body in there.
That's right. No, you can't do it without a warrant. When they told me they were taking me in for a warrant, an outstanding warrant for failure to appear, and they were going to extradite me, I said, no problem. I spun around and I put my wrists together. Here you go.
And what happened?
Exactly what they said was going to happen. They took me in, they extradited me.
You went to jail, and what happened?
I certainly did. I spent the night in jail. I went down to the courthouse the next day, and I got it dismissed. The only thing I didn't do, here's what I could have done. I could have said, yeah, I want restoration of my property, and I also want reimbursement for my time.
Ooh, good one. What'd they say to that?
But I didn't. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I could have, but I didn't. This is the only one time it's ever happened. Stages, gentlemen, stages. Every time I go out with my truck and I take a drive and I go somewhere and I don't get pulled over, it's a win.
Right.
Right? The whole idea is for no confrontation, right? So every time I go out with my truck and there's no confrontation, I win.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it like that. Totally makes sense.
And Jay and next he'll be telling you he goes fishing without a fishing license.
So the less you hear about this stuff, the less you hear about it, the more you can, I guess you can say it works.
So what happens when the game warden comes up? Oh, where's your fishing license? Oh, I don't have one. I don't need one.
Well,
then what?
I don't fish.
That's a different story.
So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about those licenses because I don't fish and hunt.
But if you did,
what if I did?
You still wouldn't have one, right?
No, you have no jurisdiction.
It's kind of like that old saying: when the game warden's around, the shotgun shoots 3 times. When he ain't around, it shoots an extra 2.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? I really don't care. Right. And that's the good thing. And they know I don't care. Whatever. The number comes up for somebody at some time, right? No one gets out alive. I don't care. Whatever. You're going to take me out? Take me out.
What's the old saying? You come in the world naked and you go out naked. You don't take anything with you.
Exactly. Come on. How do you keep the tree of liberty watered? With the blood of patriots. right?
I was about to say with the tears of my enemies, but the blood of patriots work.
You keep it water with the blood of patriots.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, I mean, hey, look, it's not like I walk around with a gun asking for trouble. I don't. Okay?
Right.
That's not the way I am. I'm a very peaceful man. We have an understanding. I go about my business lawfully. I don't bother anybody. I leave people alone. I expect the same in return. That's all.
Yeah, and Lavoy Finnegan did that too, and you see what happened to him.
No, Lavoy got out and he told him, he says, go ahead and shoot me.
Right.
Go ahead and shoot me, he told him. Go ahead.
They were shooting him before he got out. It looked like from they set that up, but
they did set it up. They did set it up, but he shouldn't have told him, go ahead and shoot me.
Yeah, that's a bad move. You never do that.
Gave him permission.
Yeah, that's not very smart.
No, of course it isn't.
And
don't misunderstand me, Lavoy. You know, he's a patriot. He gave the ultimate. That was the ultimate sacrifice. It was the wrong move, granted, you know, but they had it in for him anyway.
And then you got Cliven Bundy and his sons and all that going through what they're going through too.
I mean, I would have handled it differently, but that's just me, you know. What he did, exactly the way he did it, would probably be the same thing I would have done, because when they shot at my truck, I would have taken off too, you know.
Right.
But when he went out, hands up, and said, "Go ahead and shoot me," that's the only thing I would have done different. I would have put my hands up and said, "Look, we had a meeting, and you're holding us up. What do you got to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to arrest us? Come on over and arrest us. Take us in."
Right. That makes a lot more sense than jumping out of your vehicle.
Yep.
Well, they said that they took the place by force, but if you hear them say they walked in the place, it was disorganized, and they cleaned it up and straightened things out. So they actually did them a service.
They told the staff there to take a vacation. Okay? They cleaned the place out. The keys were left on the counter inside the building. The building was left wide open. They were told, go in there. The keys are there.
So how did they
went in there? When they went in there, they cleaned the rats out of the place. They cleaned the place up. They straightened out the artifacts that were there. Oh yeah, they went right through that place. They said you wouldn't believe the way stuff was stored in this place. It's just, and you know what? The natives don't even care about their artifacts. They don't care about them. He contacted, I can't tell you how many tribes to come down there and check the artifacts, and many of them just said no. It's like they don't care. And like that pipeline,
it's not that
remember
they
the
don't
Keystone,
care.
remember the Keystone pipeline that went through there? It was the elders that signed that thing. Go ahead, do it. Do what you got to do. Just give us the check.
I understand that, but some of it.
Thing. They, camped out for how many days was it? 2 months? And demonstrations and all, and then they turned the water cannons on those people?
Yeah. Well, hey. And now that we're talking about it, Ryan Bundy is running for governor of Nevada. Okay? Don't laugh. Yeah. I'm telling you, where else are you going to find a man that stands by the Constitution like Ryan Bundy?
Okay. And you can bet your butt that Harry Reid will do everything in his power to keep him from getting it, too.
He better have some good protections. And it wouldn't surprise me. He's got security with him now. Because,
let me say something real quick, if you don't mind, sir.
I don't mind.
Sorry for interrupting you. You ever see those things on TV where they call people and tell them they won, the lottery, or they won free airplane tickets, and then when you show up, they arrest you?
Yep.
Okay. So if they're calling certain people that are known to have issues or known to be sought after to come and get your heirlooms or come and get your people's products or so on and so forth, do you think they're going to show up? Now, if Joe Blow off the street showed up and said, "Hey, can I have my people's stuff?" and they say, "No, we already called somebody. They're coming to get it." the argument,
Well, it was
is-
Bundy's that got a hold of him.
right.
Well, not really the Bundys. It was Lavoie.
But
Lavoie
anybody that
knows the
plays
cultures.
would know if you're
Well, he
walking
knew-
into a trap.
Lavoie knew the
Yes.
cultures and the ways and the tribes and stuff like that. Anyway, we got to close this up. Wade, you got any final words before I close this up?
Just be good to each other and listen to Papa Bear's show on weekdays because he has some really good shows and of course listen every Friday night to Show Us Don't Tell Us because you never know where this train's gonna go off the rails and still get to the depot on time.
Exactly. J-Dub, thanks for joining us, Wade. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for that.
Take it easy, Wade. Good to hear from you. Yeah, just be the best person that you can be. Be the best you that you can be. Hope everyone has a great night. And thanks again for letting me have a little time on the show. I appreciate it.
All right, not a problem. And I guess now it's down to me. I'm Papa Bear. This is Show Us, Don't Tell Us. And of course, click on that donate button. Donate, subscribe, whatever you can. Help us out over here. It keeps the network going. And catch the replays over there at YouTube at What's Out There. And with that, have a great night.